Today's show is brought to you by Lovable.
Here we go.
The world's best and brightest chess players are logging on from every corner of the globe, like they have done so many times before. But something is different today. It's no longer just about Tuesday glory. The road to the Esports World Cup starts today, and with 5 minutes on the clock, no increment, we can promise you fire on the board. Welcome to Title Tuesday, the Premier League of chess.
Okay, he's gone for this line, looking very, very shaky.
Look at the
Is this a blunder?
He's throwing a thorn into the white side, holding on here for dear life. The nerves are kicking in.
He's playing with Ghost, afraid to commit. The clock is his worst enemy right now.
Did he lose on time?
One wrong move and the whole house falls down.
Whoa, whoa, is this a blunder?
Checkmate is coming.
From the global arena straight into our brand new Take studio. It still smells like paint in here, you guys. And I'm joined by two brilliant guys to guide us through the action today. On this side, he is an Olympic gold medalist. He's also one of the strongest analytical voices in the game. He is also a time travel addict, a rage quitter. But David, you no longer have to go through the pain of playing Title Tuesdays, this guy is going to be here every single week to guide us through the Title Tuesday. So David, what is it going to be like to follow Title Tuesday up and close every single week?
I'm so excited, Kaya. It feels like a fresh start, a new dawn for Title Tuesday. It's also been a part of my life for so many years. I started playing 10 years ago in Title Tuesday, week in, week out. Of course, that was a lot of fun, adrenaline rush, but now I'm so glad to be on this side to bring you guys through all the action.
Exactly. Our lead pundit, Grandmaster David Howell. On this side, I'm very lucky today to be in the middle of a English Grandmaster sandwich. And this guy, he is not only a chess boxing champion, he's also an infamous banter blitzer, played a lot of Title Tuesdays, but now you're here in the studio with us, Grandmaster Simon Williams. What is your relationship to Title Tuesdays?
Well, like David, I've played for the last 10 years. I normally rage quit and get really annoyed
Exactly.
and lose all my games because I'm terrible at blitz chess, but I love the competition. It has a great following, and I'm very excited that we're taking it into a new dawn, as David said. So very exciting.
Exactly. Title Tuesday has been there for many, many years, but it's taking a completely new form. From being a tournament mostly for the players, it's now becoming a format for the fans, and so much at stake with the EWC, the Esports World Cup, at the end of the road here, David. So will this change the approach for the players?
Quite possibly. It's always been seen as a very casual tournament, you know, people playing on trains, on planes.
Yeah.
And I think that's been part of the appeal. But ultimately, we've been listening to the chess players out there. We've been listening to the fans. There's been a lot of big developments in the chess world recently with the Esports World Cup and other events. So yeah, I'm hoping we give them now something that everyone enjoys. And if we make it more professional, if the players want to win that little bit much more, then that's no bad thing.
Exactly. And let's talk about how the road to the Esports World Cup actually work. So there are 12 spots in total up for grabs. Top 3 players from the Speed Chess Championship and top 3 from the Chess.com Global Championship will each go directly to Riyadh. Then, every week in Title Tuesday, players can score points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. And at the end of the season, top 6 players in the Champions Chess Tour qualifies for the Esports World Cup. And David, does player really want to qualify for Esports World Cup? Is that important?
They definitely do. First of all, it's nice to maintain the legacy of the Champions Chess Tour, but here we see Magnus Carlsen lifting that trophy in Riyadh just a few weeks ago. Not only the incredible, unprecedented prize money at stake, but also some honor for the players, making chess more of a sport, which is something close to our hearts. And yeah, I think just watching these images will inspire a whole new generation.
Oh, definitely. Chess made its debut at the Esports World Cup this summer. Magnus Carlsen won it with a total prize fund of $1.5 million. And as a chess player, but also a chess fan, watching chess at the esports stage, what was your take on that, Simon?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, this is the way chess is going now, you know, and other sports have shown that it's the way forwards. We're getting a big, big following. It was so exciting to watch. I mean, the emotions you saw there, hopefully we're going to see some of that today. I don't know if Magnus is going to, you know, break the table in there. I kind of hope he does a little bit. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We might have to get a new table tomorrow.
I'm okay if we do.
Yeah, it's going to be great fun. And what a thing to play for. I mean, the money is incredible. And anyone out there can qualify.
Exactly.
Which makes it so exciting.
Yeah. Title Tuesday is more important than ever with the Esports World Cup at the end of the road. Let's take a look at what these Title Tuesdays will look like. They're now played across 3 splits: the autumn split, the winter split, and the spring split. And today we kick off game week 1 of the autumn split. Each split has 13 game weeks, and your top 8 results from each split will count on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. So consistency does matter. We start from scratch today. Any title player can still dream of grabbing one of those Esports World Cup spots. And is this, David, a format that opens up for some upsets?
Definitely, and it's going to kind of give this platform to new players. Often it's been difficult for some players, especially in certain countries where maybe chess isn't so big, where there's not enough support for them. It gives them that chance to compete with the very best. Title Tuesday always has, and ultimately it makes everything feel a bit more like a sport. It's a proper league system now. It's new to all of us, of course, but it might sound complicated, but ultimately it's building towards something bigger and better.
Exactly. And less than 10 minutes to go before it all starts. Have people started signing up? Have the players signed up yet? Let's find out. Whoa, we already have 120 players from 43 countries. Hikaru has signed up. I mean, he is the Title Tuesday star.
Yeah, he has been for a long time. He won his first title Tuesday nearly 11 years ago in one of the first events back when it wasn't even weekly. And yeah, it's nice to see Hikaru playing. There have been some mixed messages from him recently on social media. But yeah, of course, the whole chess world wants to see him compete. Alexander Bortnik is currently the second seed, according to ratings out there. Very strong Ukrainian GM, David Navarra from the Czech Republic. Simon, some big names.
Some massive names, yeah, and we know that Magnus is going to join that list. He's just
I hope so.
Well, yeah, he's got his own blooming room here, you know, so he doesn't turn up. He's always so late. He's nice and cool, coming in the last minute, you know.
But you cannot come in late in Title Tuesday, right? You cannot sign up if you're late.
That's right. He'll be here. Don't worry, he'll be here. But yeah, some amazing names there, and as you can see, some of the lesser names that people might not have heard of, they got this chance to play the big guns. So it's going to be fascinating. Only 7 minutes to go.
It's called Title Tuesday because anyone with a official chess title can sign up to play all the way from Grandmaster, International Master, Women Grandmaster, all the way down to Candidate Master. We will have players ranging from 2,000 in rating all the way up to the Super Grandmasters above 2,700. I'm wondering, David, is it possible to specialize in this format, meaning players that maybe are not able to beat these very top guys in classical over-the-board chess, can they specialize in online blitz chess and actually beat the Magnuses and the Hikarus?
Yeah, definitely. I think throughout chess history, there have always been these speed chess specialists. They're normally characterized as being very tricky, very tactical, very quick to kind of attack the opponent. And yeah, ultimately, the likes of Magnus, Hikaru are great at this format, but there are others like Gukesh who specialize in classical chess. That opens the platform, opens the door for others, especially younger players, to specialize on blitz, playing online from home, day in, day out, hundreds of games a day. And I think this new time format is going to suit them a lot.
Oh, look at that. We just had a new top seed come in.
Alireza has signed up to play. Yay, I'm so excited. Someone who hasn't signed up yet is Magnus Carlsen. He did lift the Esports World Cup trophy a month ago. And here is what he has to say about the new Title Tuesday format.
Is 3404, is that like an all-time record?
Title Tuesday has been fun. It's been something that I enjoy looking forward to, and I play it when I have time and sometimes even when I don't have time, and it you know, annoys the people around me. But I look forward to having it a little bit more set in schedule, once a week, and in a little bit more of a serious setting.
The time is now! Magnus there silencing the audience with a finger to the lips there.
I think that the inaugural EWC was amazing, but the path there was probably not as hype as it could have been. This time we're doing it, I think, so much better, and every sort of major Chess.com online event, in partnership, of course, now with Take, will be more important, as everybody now wants to be part of the EWC next year. So there will be a build-up throughout the whole year, and I think that's just going to make Title Tuesday and the whole thing much better.
And Hikaru's won a lot against me recently, so...
Chess.com recently posted some stats where it shows that you and Hikaru are actually tied all time in Title Tuesday. I bet like that's a rivalry you want to win somehow. Of course, there's always the 11 out of 11 amazing score that you can have in Title Tuesdays. What kind of other things motivates you in Title Tuesday?
I generally try and get 11 out of 11 each week. No, of course, Hikaru's done incredibly well there for years, not only in Title Tuesday, but also in the Speed Chess Championship. And the two last title matches that we have had there have been very close, and that's also reflected in the Title Tuesday score. Apart from that, you know, I'll just do my best and try to win each week.
It's not about the board, of course, it's more about the clock.
I think no increment chess is perfect for online, and we saw that in the EWC. It added another layer of excitement, and I think it will here as well.
The yellow dice.
It will be a lot of the usuals that I will compete with. As always, I'll put Hikaru. Well, he's clearly the toughest one. Then Alireza second. Apart from that, it's very hard to say.
Ooh, and look at that. Magnus is still not ready in his streaming room, brand new streaming room next to our studio. We named it 2882. But in the other streaming room, the Dave Cave, we have a very special guest today. It's none other than the chess bra Erik Hansen, who will be streaming his Title Tuesday run from the Dave Cave today. What chances do you give Erik, Simon?
He's got good chances. He's a great player. He's got loads of experience doing this. He's especially good at the quicker time limits. So if he goes down to under a minute, he's very quick with a mouse, and that's part of the skill in this competition. And I, for one, will be cheering him on.
Let's start talking power rankings. David Howell here has made the player card for a bunch of the top players heading into game week 1. They're all based on their skills in online blitz, and you've chosen top 3 players to watch out for today, David. Who is it?
Exactly. It's a new era, but I had to go back to 2 old favorites to start off the kind of highlighted players here. Magnus Carlsen, I've given him a 96 rating overall. This, of course, is based on many factors. He's a phenomenal player. He wins so many Title Tuesdays. He's so good at all time formats, of course, EWC winner. No surprises, I think. Magnus is there. Next up, Hikaru Nakamura. I've given him slightly less, slightly lower there on 95. It was very hard to separate these two, though on paper, so many great games throughout the years in Title Tuesday and more to come. But the third player, I'm going to shout out Erik Hansen here in Oslo with us. Big friend of Take, of course. Nice to see him in the Dave Cave streaming an 82. It might look low. That's mainly because Erik hasn't been so active in recent months, in recent times. But there was a few years back there where he was competing with Hikaru in the likes of the Speed Chess Championships and the likes of Bullet matches. And Erik on his day can beat anyone.
By the way, I have got some good news. Magnus, I saw he is
okay
here. So don't panic, he's here.
Well, I'm panicking a little bit because he's in the house, but 28 seconds to go before it starts. He needs to... Okay, we have Magnus Carlsen on the list. Magnus Carlsen will play game week 1 of the autumn split. And here he is getting ready in his brand new streaming room. Erik looks comfortable. Erik is ready to play. Streaming, of course, has been a big part of Title Tuesday history, and it will continue to be a big part. This is the beauty of it, you guys. You can follow the point of view of your favorite player, or you can join us here in the broadcast where we have more of a bird's eye view. We're going to follow all the action, and as soon as we get the games up, the matchups for the first round, we will choose the first game to follow. And I think because Magnus just ran into his room, we see here, Magnus plays a player named Ozgan. There will be some weird pronunciations. We do not know all of these players. Do you know?
Speciality, weird pronunciations.
I'll help out with that. Right. We will follow this game. And all right, you guys, it's starting. Title Tuesday, game week 1 in the autumn split. The brand new Title Tuesday, the Premier League of Chess, is kicking off, and we're going to follow Magnus Carlsen in this very first round against a FIDE master. Here in the first round, let's see when the move's coming, and here we go.
Okay, it's Norway versus Turkey, and it's a King's Gambit to start this one. Magnus has already given up a pawn. I'm going to pass the floor to Simon here, who's actually played this opening against me. Very ambitious stuff from Magnus Carlsen.
I love it. And Black has played this horribly. Look at the king. The king's coming up the board, and Black is in serious trouble. And we did have a game of this, David, in the British Championships about 10 years ago or something, where it ended in draw, I think. But what a position.
That's incredible
Magnus
memory.
has. Well, I'm probably totally wrong now. I'm sorry. I just hope no one will fact check. But great position.
Yeah, this has already gone wrong for Magnus's FM opponent. The Turkish player, unfortunately, has had to move his king early.
Wow.
I think just making a bit of a mistake, allowing a check. And now the Black King is all out on its own in the center, lacking development. Magnus wins back the pawn that is often given up in the King's Gambit. This is one of the oldest, most romantic openings. There are games from the 18th, 19th centuries out there. And yeah, this is a dream for Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, well, he looks a little bit, so coming in very, very late here, still some technical stuff to set up. It says massively better on the bar after only a few moves for Magnus Carlsen. Even half focused. This is how good he is.
Yeah, he could be doing anything. He could have a swim and he'd still be like, winning in this position. But it's a beautiful position. Look at White's pawns in the center of the board. Black's king. It's moved around. It's swapped places with the queen. I think that's a special name. Can't remember what it is at the moment. And all the Black's pieces are on the back row. And look at that. He's nearly winning the queen, David.
Yeah, he's giving checks to the Black King. He's trying to deflect away the Black King from the protection of its queen. And Magnus eventually dodges that queen trade. But ultimately, it's looking very, very good for him. The White Queen's trying to get in on the diagonal, teaming up with its dark squared bishop. Look at the Black army. It's just fully asleep. I mean, I've seen some one-sided Title Tuesday games in my time, but this might be one of the most one-sided so far. And maybe just getting used to this new time format. His opponent still a lot of time on the clock, nearly 4 minutes, but dead, lost for Black.
All right, we should mention, you guys, that on the Take Discord channel, our community there has been able to vote for an opening that Magnus has to play at some point today. They voted for, what was it, G4? H4. H4. So at some point today, Magnus has agreed he has to play H4. That didn't happen in this game, but at some point we will see H4 from Magnus. And we're going to do the same thing next week. In our Discord community, there's going to be an opportunity to choose one of Magnus's openings for Title Tuesday.
Sorry to interrupt. I can just see the Black King coming all the way to G2 here after the knight comes out. That Black King is just walking around in no man's land. And look at it come. This is a brilliant position. I think he moved the knight out next, David, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you can move the knight in any direction, really, and you're always lining up a check. The knight can come forward and give another check. And like you say, Simon, it's going to be driving the Black King forward into no man's land. It's going to get checkmated. Magnus, he's probably looking for a picturesque finish. I don't think it's much of a question that Magnus is going to win this game, just because of how open the Black King is. There we see the knight does come out as you predicted, Simon, and yeah, you can actually come this way with a check as well due to a pin against the Black King on the 6th rank.
Remember, they have 5 minutes on the clock, no increment whatsoever. There are a total of 11 rounds every single Tuesday. Oh, and we have Mr. Ozgan joining us on camera. Very nice. But he is in trouble against Magnus Carlsen, who is massively better in this game 1.
I'm just wondering if I'd be confident in the white position here against Magnus, because this must be completely winning. And if I was playing Magnus here, I'd start to get a bit nervous and probably throw it away, but I'd be confident even beating Magnus in this position. And David, you crush him here, wouldn't you?
I would like to think so, but Magnus is Magnus. Strange things happen. I mean, his poor opponent, yeah, thrown into the lion's den, thrown into the deep end. Round 1, you already see a shake of the head, a sip of the coffee, down to 2 minutes, and how is this Black King ever going to survive? Yeah, I mean, the knight is just coming. It's going to be checkmate within a few moves. And there we go. Magnus gets his first win of the new era of Title Tuesday.
Wow, it's a quick checkmate from Magnus Carlsen. He takes the first point in the autumn split, game week 1. This is round 1, and Magnus Carlsen gets off to a fantastic start. 1 point, easy, no issues here for Magnus other than getting ready in time. By the way, I can see you guys asking questions about how can we hear Magnus. So as mentioned, streaming is still a big part of Title Tuesday. If you prefer to listen to the point of view of your favorite player, for example, Magnus Carlsen, well, then you can listen to his stream. It's available both on the Take YouTube channel and, of course, on Magnus's private channels. So go check that out if you prefer to listen to Magnus. If you want to talk to us, then we pay attention to the YouTube chat on YouTube, of course, and on Twitch on the Take channels. We know that this broadcast is available many other places as well, but if you want to talk to us, it's on the Take channels. You reach us. All right, well, that was one result in round 1, but a bunch of games still happening. All right, it looks like Alireza Fruja is winning his round 1 game. Hikaru, though, is that over? Should we jump into Hikaru's game?
Yeah, let's do it. Hikaru Nakamura starts with the black pieces. Yeah, we see that most games are going in favor of the favorites here in round one. That's often the way. I think Alexander Bortnik was in a bit of trouble further down. We saw the eval bars, but here, Hikaru, let's follow one of the favorites, as suddenly the eval bar drops and says it's totally balanced. Hikaru had a big advantage we saw a moment ago, but again, against a young Turkish player, he might not be winning. It's level material. It's just bishops and pawns each. Hikaru might have a small advantage because his A pawn is more dangerous, potentially. Can't move yet. Than anything else. But, yeah, this is a 50-50, Simon.
Yeah, and the light shines on the right chest. And we can see there, the light is shining on him. So
it truly is.
Yeah, but at this position, I mean, it's all going a bit wrong. And I mean, if the bishops now get exchanged, there's no material advantage, Hikaru. There's not many pawns left. So this is going to be extremely hard to win. And these Turkish guys, they're really strong. There's a number of them. And this is one of the great things about this competition, that the lower rated players get to play their heroes in a lot of ways. So yeah, exciting.
Candidate master ceviche. Reminding me of ceviche, one of my favorite dishes. But ceviche is here up against Hikaru, and he's doing a great job. Oh my, with 1 minute left on the clock, can he actually win this?
It's gonna be difficult. To my eyes, it looks like black has a very good position because Hikaru's king is just gonna come and win the white pawn. The white king is coming meanwhile. It's a bit of a race. Can the black king get there? Will the white king get there first? And the white king now is ready to come over itself. It's a matter of time here, Simon. He might just be about to hold it, but I'm not 100% sure. I think Hikaru is definitely feeling nervous here.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have massively better now for Hikaru.
Yeah, he should be okay now because he's managed to grab that pawn, I think, pretty safely, right? And a lot of white's pawns are on light squares. The black bishop can also attack them because he's got a light square bishop. The king, very important piece in the ending. Don't move the king in the opening. We saw Magnus's opponent do that. Not a good idea. Don't try it. But here, yeah, we think Hikaru's going to win this now.
Yep. He's got all his pawns on dark squares. That's a good tip for everyone at home. If you're playing against an opponent who has a light squared bishop, pawns on light squares, if you have your own bishop on light squares, put pawns on the other color complex. You dominate everything. And here, Ceviche's king is it's just simply stuck. And it's a matter of time before Hikaru breaks through.
I have to say, I don't know what dish that is. That shows how...
Oh, it's it's
really
fish.
bad.
So
Right,
it's
okay.
raw fish, but it's sort of marinated in lime.
I like the sound of it.
It's very delicious. And you have like mangoes with it, avocados.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, Hikaru's opponent, very low on the clock, decides to resign. Hikaru, as expected, takes the win.
And that's, Hikaru's shaking his head in true style. Not happy maybe with his play, but he gets the win here in round one. He kicks off Title Tuesday with a good start here in round one, winning against Ceviche. All right. Well, round one is still happening. We look at that. We have some live games. We have a bunch of results. Alireza was able to win his game. Lazovic, also a big favorite in Title Tuesdays, starting off with a win. Still a lot of games going on. Let's remind you guys about the format each and every Tuesday, just so there's no confusion, because there is a completely new format. The time control now, it used to be 3 + 1 second increment. Now it's 5 + 0. There is no more increment in Title Tuesdays. So we will see a lot of fire on the board. Every Tuesday consists of 11 rounds. And it's all about those CCT points. Top 10 player each week scores points on the CCT leaderboard, the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. First place gets those very crucial 10 points, second place 7 points, and so on. This is what they are fighting for. Of course, in addition to the Tuesday glory and some prize money every single week. Looks like the top games have finished, and it doesn't look like we have any big upsets. Can you guys notice anything?
No, I mean, it looks to me like everything's gone pretty much according to plan there. I'm just wondering how Eric got on, because obviously we're cheering for him a bit here today. I think we're allowed to be a bit biased. Well, I am anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be biased. I want Eric to do well.
Agree.
And the great thing of the tournament, it's a Swiss tournament, so it gets harder as the rounds go on. You play people on the same points as you. And the big change is the time limit, because it used to always be played with increment, but now it's no increment. So we're going to have, as you mentioned, a lot of flagging, and this kind of scares me. I'm glad I'm not playing, because I'm so slow and so old with the mouse.
Do you want to know a heartbreaking story?
Oh, no.
No.
Eric drew his game. He was one move away from delivering checkmate. He had a queen, a rook, a bishop, and a pawn. His opponent only had a king, but Eric ran out of time, got flagged,
No.
and it's a draw. His opponent didn't have enough legal material to give a checkmate himself, so Eric doesn't lose. But yeah, the new time format already kicking in.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Well, Eric Hansen needs to strike back, but round 2 is already started. Oh my God, we love Title Tuesday. It's so fast. Magnus Carlsen is streaming from his room. Round 2 has started. Eric Hansen is back, and he is streaming on the Chess.com channel, you guys. Which game should we jump into? I didn't even see the pairings there. Did you see any big ones? Yeah. Of course, this is a Swiss system. Meaning, what kind of pairings are we seeing then for round 2?
We're still seeing mostly the top grandmasters against FMs, IMs. There are a couple of grandmaster versus grandmaster clashes sneaking in there towards the middle phase, the middle seeds. But let's stick with Magnus for now. He's promised to play some interesting openings.
Yeah.
He often rolls the dice. It's something he's famous for on Title Tuesday. This one is more solid. This is a hedgehog setup for black. That's characterized by the fact that black's pawns are mostly still on the 6th rank. It's a hedgehog. You curl up into a ball. Often it's a bit prickly if your opponent steps too far forward. They could find their hands getting bitten. But yeah, for Magnus, this is, I'm going to say, one of his A-list openings, showing how much he wants it. Early days, though, of course.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm just keeping an eye on Hikaru's game, and Hikaru's done a pretty similar opening, and he's also done this weird queen maneuver. You can see Magnus's queen is sort of heading to the left-hand side, and Hikaru's put his queen on the left-hand side. The computer really doesn't like Magnus's position here. It loves having that extra space. So White, so far, doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, and Magnus has taken some bad beats in this type of position. He lost a very famous game in Qatar. I call it Watchgate, where there was some drama about his opponent wearing a watch, but it was in a very similar opening. And yeah, look at this. The black piece is having to go back now. There's one weak pawn that could be grabbed. Simon, do you think it's worth saving the bishop, or should his opponent get greedy? He answers there for us.
Yeah, he moved the bishop back. I mean, you've got to take risks against Magnus in order to win, but that was quite a hot pawn. The dark square bishop, a very important piece there. And we see Pavlov there in his dark room in front of his computer on his own, and thinking hard about his next moves. And that pawn pushing on. I like the way he's using Harry the H pawn.
Oh, yes.
Come on, Harry. He's moving up the board with ideas.
I forgot to mention that in the introduction of you. The father of Harry the H pawn, of course, Ginger GM Simon Williams.
Yes, I didn't actually call my son Harry, but like it is my adopted son is Harry the H pawn, and you can see it's being pushed up the board. And I think Magnus wants to try and use that pawn to get some pieces behind to get the knights back onto some good squares.
Yeah, ultimately, if the other black knight can jump forward and hit the white queen safely, that white queen might be running out of squares, might find itself trapped. Of course, that can't happen now. The black knight would be hit on the g5 square, but ultimately, yeah, Magnus, he's just waiting, going to bide his time. He's going to strike at some point with one of these pawns, and when that happens, he's going to unleash the beasts, the heavy pieces on the long diagonals.
Very tense position, though, still. I mean, there's a lot to play for, and both players have spent 2 minutes. And this is where you've got to keep much more of an eye on your time, because as Eric, what happened to him? He lost on time. And will Magnus now try moving that knight again? I don't know. He's got to break at some point, I feel here, David.
Yeah, and maybe now is the moment. We see the eval bar suddenly switch, much better for Magnus Carlsen. He plays one of the best moves, apparently, by breaking out in the center, and suddenly the black pieces are really coming to life. The rooks on the open files, the queen, the bishops, they're all staring down the board now.
Oh, and look at the evaluation bar. The bishop comes in, and it is pinning the 2 rooks there. And that means white will now lose some serious material.
And a smile on Magnus's face there.
Yeah, big smile. That reflects how happy he is. We see him talking. Of course, it's always weird to see a mouth move and not hear the voice. Remember, Magnus streaming, and very happily so. He's winning the exchange by force. That was the whole reason for the eval bar switching, and Simon, hard to resist now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they called it the hedgehog. It's very prickly. It curls up into a ball, and if you touch it, you might get hurt. And at some point, the hedgehog can jump into life, and his prickles, is that a word? I don't know, it is now.
I like
his
it.
prickles come out, and they attack. And Magnus's prickles have come out. And I better be careful I just say prickles. Okay, on.
Prickly
you,
guy.
David.
Yeah,
Magnus is prickles. It's a new word.
Exactly. Prickles is the key. And right now, okay, I was going to say he needs to take one of the rooks. He does. So Magnus with a material advantage. And there we go. Cynical. Getting the queens off. That should destroy the last of his opponent's hopes to make a comeback in this game.
Yeah, it's a very nice move. When you're material up, it's a good idea. And Magnus, let's remember now, has the extra rook effectively, and they're both on nice open lines. You want to swap material off. You take away a lot of your opponent's chances, and you just try to simplify the position. So the only way Magnus will not win this game is by doing quite a huge blunder, and we rarely see that with Magnus.
Looking very composed.
He is. I know you guys are watching from all over the world, and of course, Title Tuesday happening on these Tuesdays for people in, I don't know, LA, US. It's going to be early morning. Maybe you're watching us with your morning coffee on the east side. Maybe it's lunch break at work. In Europe, of course, maybe after work with your colleagues, and in Asia and India. Well, it's late night. It's prime time for you guys. But wherever you are watching this from, please join us in chat. Let us know how you are following Title Tuesday. We hope this will become a regular thing for you guys to join us following and watching Title Tuesday, the best players in the world, every single Tuesday fighting for Tuesday glory, but also fighting to qualify for the Esports World Cup. This is the Premier League of chess, and Magnus Carlsen has gotten off to a good start. Massively better on the bar.
Yeah, massively better. There's multiple reasons. It's not just a material advantage. It's also the fact that Black has a real sniper of a bishop. Oh, look at that. Crunch. Giving up material. There was going to be adding on to that pin there. Magnus takes the win, leaves his desk. Still had 2.5 minutes, half his time left when that game ended.
That is great advertisement for that secret lab chair, how it's just spun around. Magnus takes the win. He's on 2 points, same as Lazovic, Sarana, and Andraken. All players we're used to seeing up there. Hikaru Nakamura is still playing his round 2 game. It doesn't seem like that's over. Should we jump into that game?
Let's jump into Hikaru, because that one's still very much alive. Hikaru, of course, also streaming, and yeah, suddenly he looks pretty happy as well. But we see level material on this board, the bar on his side, 1 minute up on the clock, though. That could be the decisive factor, Simon.
Definitely. I mean, Hikaru is one of the fastest players in the world. I mean, he's probably the quickest calculator that I've seen. Anyone who's watched his great streams will, those moves were quick. Wow. Will realize just how unbelievably quick he is at working out variations. It's mind-blowing. But he's playing another Grandmaster here, so that's tough. And the big question here is, can Hikaru move that rook in? He has, and he's won the queen, and now he's winning another piece. That's the end.
And that is the end. Playing a Grandmaster here, Martinian in round 2. It is another win for one of the big favorites, Hikaru Nakamura. Good start for him. And look at that. We have several players joining us. Alireza Frouzja. I'm wondering if he is playing from Samarkand, if he has already arrived in Samarkand, where the Grand Swiss, a huge tournament with so much at stake, so many players. Alireza, one of them, hoping to qualify for the candidates tournament, and that starts in 2 days. So I bet a lot of the players will actually be there playing Title Tuesday from their hotel rooms.
Yeah, it's a pity we don't see the likes of Anish Giri, who was actually born on a Tuesday, competing this week in Title Tuesday, because he's traveling. He's on the way to Uzbekistan, starting in less than 48 hours. But the likes of Vincent Keimer, who's here with us, they're competing. I think they're already out there. And we see Vincent's drop to draw, one of the highest seeds to drop points in that round. And yeah, a lot of the top players in the world. They multitask. They're busy folk.
And we also saw Denis Lazovic, who is on 2 points, beat, that must be Eric Rosen, the top streamer, who lost to Denis Lazovic here in round 2. Still a bunch of games happening. Magzudlu just got a win in his round 2 game. Esipenko is playing. We are seeing the top seeds here. With their games. Alireza Frouzja still playing, but it looks like he is gonna win here in round 3. Have you been impressed so far by the level of the games we've seen, Simon?
It always impresses me because I play in this competition most Tuesdays, and it always scares me because I'm like, how are these guys so good? And like they're all just so sharp. There's so many young players coming through, and the top players they just don't make mistakes anymore, even at this quicker time limit. We can see there's a slight, I suppose, shock there. Kamer only drew, and he is one of the top seeds, so he's dropped half a point. That could be very important. Good to see that Eric has got a win on the board there. So, we might as well cheer for our fellow streamer here. Magnus doesn't need our cheers, really, does he? He's good enough. And, it's going to get very exciting. 9 rounds to go, and it's quick and it's fast.
Eric Hansen winning against Muttonburger. I'm wondering if there's no huge matchups in the top. Should we follow Eric in the next round?
You have a Muttonburger for lunch.
Had some kind of burger for lunch. Eric had a burger there for.
You had a moose burger with brown cheese for lunch. That was very brave.
Burger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be vegetarian next year. That was interesting. But maybe Eric next round. That could be a fun one to follow, depending on who he plays. But he might be floated up. We only see 2 players currently on 1.5 points. So they might be playing each other. He might play Vincent Keimer. That's how these Swiss systems work. You play someone on the same points as yourself, but if there's an odd number, someone has to go up, or someone has to go down. So he could find himself playing someone on the 2-point score group, or he could play the likes of Alireza Faruja if Faruja doesn't manage to win. But it does look like round 2 is over, and round 3 already begun.
Yeah, round 3 is starting. We see Magnus Carlsen is up against Perez. Hikaru is going to play Molina. But are you guys good? Should we follow Eric Hansen in this next round? I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into Eric Hansen's game. I cannot see his matchup here it's against a player. So I'm using my Take app to keep an eye on all the action that's happening. He's playing Casalaspro.
Playing a bit of a Muppet there, isn't he?
From Brazil, yeah. So that's his Chess.com profile image.
Yeah, it's not actually a Muppet.
No.
But quite a solid start, David.
Yeah, solid start. This came from the Karo Khan defense, and this system with the queens being the first pieces to leave the board. It's known to be very popular among old
I bet
old
you
men
love this,
like myself.
I was going to say, David, you love this, don't you?
I love this. Look at this. Eric's offering to trade bishops as well. If the bishops disappear from the board, then he's very, very happy. White has a little bit more influence with the central pawn. Often you start playing on the wings. This is Magnus territory. This is Eric Hansen trying to grind down probably quite a young opponent, the Brazilian player here, Matias Andre Casalaspro.
Oh, wow. That's impressive, David.
Yeah.
And so you'll be in charge of the name pronunciations.
Yeah, you can take over from me. And okay, you've got to guess what Magnus played on move 1. What did he play on move 1? I've seen his move on move 1. Magnus Carlsen has played... Okay, you get one guess. Come on, David. Bang.
Was it Harry related?
It was Harry related. 2 squares
H4.
or 1? H4. He did indeed. So.
He did. So he did, as promised, he played H4, which our community on Discord voted as the opening Magnus had to play in one game today. H4. Is that a really bad opening?
No, it's great.
Ah,
Fantastic.
Of course.
I love it.
Simon's a bit biased.
Yeah, brilliant.
I would say it's not a bad opening, but not a great one either.
Okay. Well, we didn't have any cheeky openings here in Eric Hansen's game. The bar says balanced, and they still have a lot of time on the clock. What does this look like?
Yeah, ultimately it is roughly level. The eval bar now says slightly better for white, although kind of changing its mind because at some point white can start kicking away the black knight from the center. White has a bit more flexibility there. The bishop could come out, hit a loose pawn, as it has just done. I think we've jumped into maybe one of the least exciting Title Tuesday games I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
But maybe we can see if Eric can grind it out. I will note, in his previous game, he was so much quicker than in round 1. He learned from being flagged. And hopefully
a bit of adjusting, isn't it, to do? And I mean, Eric, I didn't realize this, but I played him in the World Blitz sort of team championships recently, and I didn't realize how positional he is. I always assumed Eric was a hacker for some reason, but he's a really positional player, actually, isn't he?
Very positional, Eric Hansen. I think when he was a bit younger, he was a bit more aggressive. You know, he felt that kind of itch to create action all the time. But now he's in his 30s, Eric Hansen, like some of us here. His opponent's definitely not in his 30s. Look at Casalaspro there, very young, aspiring FM.
I love how we're sort of just jumping into his bedroom.
I mean, he could just look after himself well. You know, could be 30. I don't know. Like he could have a beard.
It's a lot of medals. He must have needed some time to win them all.
Yeah.
Eric's opponent there in the background. I love it. Chessboard as well on the wall. Chessboard on the desk. He looks like a proper pro.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, he is definitely young, and this is I like his last move. This seems like a clever move from Black, because otherwise Black was in danger of, like you said, David, getting pushed back, but he's trying to come forwards. He's trying to take the initiative. That Black Knight, I don't know how secure the Black Knight is, because the White Rook might attack it, force it to go away. But at the moment, the Black Knight's a little bit annoying for White here. It just depends if he can follow this up with some active play.
Yeah, the White Rook is coming. Eric probably liking his chances here. Guess how old his opponent is? I've just done some research quickly.
Ooh, 15.
Younger.
Oh, really?
12.
Yeah, 12 turning 13, I think. So very young.
Wow.
Like nearly a third of Eric's age. That's. I think that's the depressing thing for me and you, Simon, these days playing Title Tuesday. We're some of the elder statesmen.
I mean, I just lose the babies every week. It's so depressing. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? You know? It's another baby. It's a good thing I can't see them, because if I could see them, I'd just give up and go down the pub. I think it's like I'm just sick of losing the babies now. But they're so good. They're so talented, and there's so many younger players coming through, and that shows a great future for chess. And it's good they get a bit of limelight now in this new look Title Tuesday. Very exciting.
100%. Stuckfish is asking us in the Twitch chat, is Eric in Oslo? Yes, he is. He is streaming from the Dave Cave, our brand new streaming room here in the Take office in Oslo. He is here for streaming Title Tuesday Game Week 1. And there will also be a launch party in the office afterwards. So he's also here for the party, but now it's all focus, it's all serious. He is fighting to win in round 3 from the Dave Cave.
Yeah, and Eric has gambited a pawn. He's given up a pawn there. Maybe he thought that this pin was unbreakable, but the black pawn just defends its knight, and now he's seeking counterplay. There's a nasty knight check threatened. Eric would go pawn hunting if given the opportunity, but the black knight steps back, and although the eval bar says he has full compensation here, he needs to be very energetic, Erik Hansen, to maintain the initiative now. 2 minutes versus 2 minutes. If it becomes a mouse battle, a flag fest against a young opponent, that's where you might start to worry for the Canadian GM.
I think he's playing very well, the player of the Black Pieces, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the name because I'll probably butcher it. But what Eric would like to do is come in with a knight and take that pawn, but he can't, can he, David? Because he walks into a pin, and Black is a pawn up. So this is very unclear. And look at your valuation bar now.
Oh no! Yeah. What's happening for Eric?
Yeah, the black rook in the corner is attacked, but ultimately it will just move out the way, and there we go. No more checks. He's actually blocked his own d-file, so now Eric cannot land a check. Or, okay, after that trade of rooks, maybe he will land a check, but it's not going to be so effective. His bishop is hit. And yeah, right now Eric is a pawn down, so the stakes are a bit higher for him. 30 seconds down on the clock as well. Well, it looked that way a moment ago. But either way, okay. Very interesting endgame.
Yeah, I mean, luckily Eric's pieces are very good here. You can see Black's pieces are kind of tucked over on the right-hand side, and Eric might want to use his king now. His king has the possibility to walk in. Remember, the king is a very powerful piece. They say it's probably worth the same as a knight or a bishop in the ending, so you could bring that into the center. And I think Eric has enough compensation here, but a pawn is also quite troublesome in the ending. And there we go. I think the king has now walked in to the middle of the board.
Yeah, it's hard for Black to find moves, and yeah, as a younger player, you always want queens on the board. You always want some kind of attack. So I understand why Eric has gone for this style of chess. But yeah, high reward potentially. Will he get there? He's attacking a pawn now, and if he gets that pawn, Black's position starts to fall apart. It's a piece sacrificed by his young opponent. He's relying on a pin now on the e-file, but Eric might be jumping further with his knight, and yeah, still anyone's game, this one. Eric looks very happy, though, on the camera.
Yeah, he does.
Well, Connie, I think knight f7 is oh, yeah, it's very complicated, but he does look very happy. Yeah, I just assumed he was winning here because he had this big smile on his face, but not so.
Whoa, look at that. It's a check from Erik Hansen, a double check from the bishop, from the knight. The black king, therefore, has to move, and once it does, the black pin will be broken by knight takes pawn. It's a blunder by Casalaspro.
What a move. That's a great move, and double check. You should get double points for a double check, surely.
Is that what you will call a brilliant move from Erik Hansen?
Double exclamation mark for a double check.
Oh,
I think that's how it works.
It's so nice. We see a lot of blunders in chess. It's important to highlight also, right? When we see the brilliant moves from these brilliant players, Erik Hansen is a brilliant grandmaster, and he's about to win in round 3 to score another point. All right, good job, Erik.
Yeah, puts him in 2.5, so in a great position. And okay, he's using that knight so well. The knight is such a tricky piece in blitz. I mean, and is he actually going to mate black here? Look at the black king. I said the king is very good in the ending, but he's going to lose the rook there, so black resigns.
He resigns, and Erik Hansen takes the full point here in round 3. But it's fun to follow young Kazalasbro, only 12 years old, with a bright future. No doubt about it. Let's go back to our live center to get that bird's eye view for all the action. Magnus and Hikaru both still playing.
And look at that, Hikaru Nakamura in big trouble.
Let's jump into Hikaru's game. It says that his opponent, Molina, is better on the bar. What's happening?
Oh, it looks like Molina's streaming too, Brazilian IM. And the move's coming fast, and they're repeating now. Hikaru doesn't look happy on the camera. White is actually winning in this position because black's king is so open. The white queen and rook could create a nasty pin. But there we go, it's a draw. Molina bails out. Understandably, you're playing Hikaru Nakamura, but could have been so much more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's a bit worried about the time when you're under a minute against Hikaru, you know, and a draw is a very good result, but still, you get a chance to beat these guys, you've got to go for it, I feel.
Impressive, right? International master Molina, who is clearly also a streamer. We can see him talking to his fans on his stream. Hikaru also talking, not looking super happy after that draw. Alireza probably not streaming, but he is playing. And Lazovic as well is playing. Let's go back to the live center as we see Molina showing a lot of happy emotions. That's very cool. Magnus has gotten a win here in round 3. The only game that we can see still going on is with Magzudlu playing with the black pieces here. Look at the standings. Alireza Firouzja is one of many players on the full 3 points, joined by Magnus Carlsen, Sarana, some of the other top players. Hikaru now on 2.5, together with Erik Hansen. So at what point will we start seeing the players on the same score play each other?
Yeah, I think very shortly we might see Hikaru Nakamura against Erik Hansen. That would be a fun one to watch if it happens. And we always have to start from the top. You play people on the same score. That starts with the priority of the players on 100%. But if it does end with just 7 players, it means one gets down floated. Most likely Hikaru, as the top of the next group, goes up to play against someone on 3 points. So we'll see. But nice to see Firouzja again and Magnus in that top score group, having come off the Esports World Cup, facing each other in the final. Some surprises we should mention. Alexander Bortnik lost his game. Big streamer, but big favorite in these types of events. He was taken down, and it does look like round 4 is underway in the meantime.
Yeah, round 4 is starting. Magnus Carlsen will play Galchenko, Alireza Firouzja up against Schneider. Did we get Hikaru against Erik Hansen? No. Hikaru is playing Lebedev. And, it's Erik Hansen against Denis Lazovic. That's an interesting one. Which one do you guys want to see? And of course, in YouTube chat and Twitch chat on the Take channels, do let us know if you have any wishes on which games we should follow. We have to choose one for now, though. Which ones?
Should we start with Magnus?
100%.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Magnus game. He will have the black pieces against Galchenko and IM. Is that someone you've heard of?
It is. Actually, Galchenko, I believe he goes under a few different usernames online, but he's a very well-known coach, a streamer, and he's very, very dangerous. He's just an IM. You say only an IM, but online, I would say he's a super GM. He beats very high players. He's been over 3,000 many times before. And okay, we jump into this game. Sorry, that was my bad. I was just selecting it. And we see that Magnus has chosen a very solid system here. I believe it came from a C3 Sicilian. And okay, what do you make of this, Simon? He's got some isolated pawns, Magnus, on the queen side.
Yeah, I mean, my first impression would be that White's quite comfortable because he's got a better pawn structure. You always evaluate the position by the pawn structure and the pieces, and the pawn in front of Magnus's queen is a little bit weak, but there's no weaknesses either, really, major weaknesses apart from that pawn. So it's a pretty equal position. The black rook coming into the center now. But I think I'd take white here, David. I mean, you played this opening as white as well. Most of your life, beat me many times in it, as you beat me with every opening.
Sorry, Simon.
Part of my life. Getting beaten by you, David. And would you like this position as white?
Yeah, I would take it. I mean, there's not many positions I would happily take against Magnus Carlsen, but here it does look like white has nice central control. We always talk about just placing your pieces in the center. The white rooks are nicely poised here in case any action happens. The queen and the bishops as well, especially this bishop, I'm going to say, on the diagonal. Nicely setting up some potential tactics. But yeah, Magnus has full control for now. He's going for this kind of hedgehog-esque strategy again. He's kind of placing his pawns very modestly. They look a bit weak, but they could spring forward at any moment. So I'm going to say, yeah, Magnus has probably got enough control to not be too unhappy, but white objectively with a small advantage.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'd start pushing the H-pawn if I was white here without thinking. And if you look at the pieces, I mean, I mentioned that the pawn in front of Magnus's queen is a little bit weak, but also the bishop behind Magnus's queen is the only undeveloped, we call it minor piece, a knight or a bishop, and it's trapped in there, and it can't come the other way because that pawn is quite weak. Another one, actually, in front of the white's queen. So there seem to be some problems with Magnus's position here, and hence why he's decided to play this risky position, but this risky move. But this is very risky, opening that bishop, right?
Wow, super risky. And Magnus is relying on some tactics, but I mean, what happens if white plays like rook takes knight here?
Yeah.
And I guess there's going to be some tricks where black ends up taking a bishop, but it's definitely a pawn sacrifice by Magnus Carlsen. White is ganging up on black's knight 3 times. It's only defended twice, but he's hoping to get maybe the bishop pair in return. And the eval bar approves. It says white is only slightly better still. So Magnus Carlsen, a bit desperate there, but interesting attempt. This is probably the most kind of in trouble he's been so far today.
100%. And white is building up, trying to double his rooks on the open file. But this is a sign of a great player, right? He knows he's in trouble, so he does a risky move. He sacrifices a pawn. He knows when to change sort of the tempo of the game. And at least now he's got his bishop out. He's attacking the queen. And he's kind of just about okay here, but I'd still rather be white.
Yeah, definitely still rather the white position here. The white queen has to move, though. Does she slide across? Does she slide back? She retreats. Magnus might feel, though, that he's kind of over the worst. But yeah, Galchenko is so tricky. I've played him many times. I think he's flagged me half of the games we've played in. So he's very quick. So Magnus definitely can't get too low on the clock. Yeah, definitely can't blunder either here, because it's that type of position where one slip could cost you.
When do you start stressing with 5 minutes on the clock?
Me, after 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose on time. But generally, I would, now there's no increment, definitely under 1 minute, because that is really hard to play all your moves under 1 minute. But I'd say under 2 minutes, you need to up the tempo, because it's not a long time, 2 minutes, if you're not getting extra time. I mean, how many moves can you actually play thinking in under 2 minutes? And that's, again, what makes this quicker time limit so exciting. So white now retreating. Still like white because of his control of the open file. There is a threat here, right, David? He can push the pawn to where that bishop was. If it is white's move, he'd attack that knight with the pawn, and that would win a piece. So Magnus still fighting hard, and that's a crafty move there.
Oof, crafty move, hitting white from an angle he might not have expected. And the problem is, if you slide your rook up as well, you continue getting hit. This white queen has been doing some dancing, but she's not really comfortable in the center of the board right now. That's a really nice move from Magnus. I must admit, like, it feels like things have been turning a bit, and that's not a happy move to play. The white bishop now can't get past its rook, but maybe it was a necessary one. Galchenko still surviving in this game, and still maintaining a small advantage according to the eval bar. So it's going to be interesting how Magnus deals with it.
Yes, but as you say, David, white's pieces are getting forced backwards, right? So white is losing that advantage, and the rook has found a worse square, and Magnus's pieces are creeping forward somewhat. That last move attacking the queen again. A bit surprised Valuation Bar still likes white's position, to be honest, because that queen, where's it going to go now? It has to find a square somewhere. Does it go left? Does it go right? Does it go back? Shouldn't go forwards. That's the only thing I can work out. But it's got a lot of choices. But look at the time as well. He's getting down to he's under 2 minutes, and Galchenko coming to under 1 minute as well. This could play a very important factor.
Yeah, he goes to the east, I was going to say, not the west or south. He goes to the right of the board there. And okay, the white queen a bit offside, could get trapped, could get hit by some pawns a bit later maybe. Magnus, in the meantime, yeah, he's creating the threats. And Magnus, despite the fact he's streaming, he's always been one of the quicker players. And that's why he said this change in format, he wasn't against it, 5+0. That's why the Esports World Cup with no increment, he was comfortably the best player there. He was ahead of Faruja on the clock every single game. Magnus, he just trusts his instincts and he knows how to play with momentum.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for Galchenko, it is more dramatic. Okay, he got some more time on the clock here. It is lagging a little bit. It is the first time with this time control. Of course, they are playing on Chess.com. Title Tuesday is a big Chess.com tournament, and it still is. We are super happy to partner with Chess.com for Title Tuesday. And Galchenko is ticking down on the clock, definitely. Will he be able to save this? It says slightly better on the bar, could even win it with the time he has.
Yeah, with the time it's going to be difficult, but I'm more concerned about the white queen on the edge of the board here. She's lacking squares, and I could easily see her getting trapped in the near future. Maybe this is even a threat. The pawn to step forward, and if the white queen retreats, then the black knight can come back and hit her on g3. So dangerous times for Galchenko. He creates an escape path for the white queen to run away, but yeah, I'm going to say very difficult with the clock situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the clocks too much. I think they're moving very quickly because he's sort of bouncing from 0 to 1 minute. But I think they're very equal on time. Just have a look elsewhere. It does seem now Magnus has just over a minute and white has sort of 30 seconds. But now Magnus has taken a bit of a material advantage there. It's much better to have 2 minor pieces. So in this case, a bishop and a knight for a rook. They work much better together. So I think materialistically now Magnus will be very happy, and his position doesn't seem to be in any danger at all either.
Yep.
So it's looking good.
Looking very good, and the clocks are wrong here. Black hasn't won on time yet, despite the white clock going red and showing 0. Still game on, but Galchenko does need to get his skates on and create some counterplay before the black knight gets in. I'm expecting Magnus to centralize there, and it's looking very good for black on the board, but it's all about the clock, of course.
It's looking good for Magnus Carlsen, better on the bar. He has scored 3 out of 3 points so far in game week 1 of the autumn split with a brand new format in Title Tuesday. We now call it the Premier League of Chess. And Magnus Carlsen is on fire today, playing, of course, we should mention, with his Liquid shirt. He is still a part of Team Liquid, which he played for during the Esports World Cup and won the chess title for them. A proud member of Team Liquid.
Yeah, and this is one way. I mean, Magnus, I think, still doing well here. Still pushing on both sides of the board. And this is one way, as you mentioned, that you can qualify for this esports amazing competition with big prize money by doing well online at this competition. And the video, well, Magnus seems pretty relaxed there as well. His position doing very well. Centralizes pieces. The black rook can come swinging down. And he has his pawn majority, and now he's going directly for white's king. That also attacks white's rook. If the white rook moves, he comes in and checks the king. So I think he's going to win this game now.
No.
Looks like it on Magnus's body language. He is confident to win this game. Of course, we apologize that the clocks are bugging here. It looks like they're working in the Take app. Of course, you can follow all the players, your favorite player, whoever that is, in the Take app. While we wait for Magnus to win this game, and we will take a look at what has been happening in the other games here in round 4. After round 4, there is a longer break. It's going to be 6 minutes when round 4 finishes before we get ready for round 5. And there we have it. Magnus Carlsen takes the 3rd win in a row. He will be on 3 points, beating international master Galchenko here. And look at that. Magnus is chill, happy, of course. You can watch Magnus's point of view stream as well, where he will be talking directly to you guys.
And I just want to point out, if we look towards the bottom half of the results there on the left, Hikaru Nakamura, with the black pieces, has lost to Lebedev, a player I'm not so familiar with, I must admit. But that is a huge shock. Hikaru not starting this week's Title Tuesday very well at all. And of course, dropping a draw from a lost position in the previous round, losing in this one. Eric going down in the meantime to young Denis Lazovic. It's been a tough round for some of the favorites.
It really has. Hikaru Nakamura losing in round 3. That does not happen very often in Title Tuesday. He's going to be a little bit upset, and he's going to be very eager to come back with a win in round 5. I think I've been saying 3 points for Magnus. Of course, it's now 4 points with that win in round 4. So we have still quite a few players on the perfect score. 4 out of 4. Alireza Frouzja is also up there. Magnus has named him as one of his 2 biggest opponents in Title Tuesday, Hikaru and Alireza Frouzja, but Hikaru is struggling, losing here in round 4. Still a bunch of games still happening. Minle is still playing. Sarana is still playing. Any other upsets here?
No, but the fields start to thin out a little bit. I mean, that's what you'll get as the tournament goes on. It's 11 rounds, and we're kind of a third of the way through the tournament now. And you can see there's only 8 players on maximum, so we're going to get, some even bigger pair-ups. Dominguez, I don't know if we've mentioned him, but I think he was ex-World Blitz champion, was he? He's an incredibly strong player from America. Tang is famous for being the quickest draw on the chessboard.
Really?
He plays a form of chess. I think it's called Hyper Suicide Bullet. I've made up the suicide, but it's Hyper Bullet, where I think both players have, is it 30 seconds or less, 10 seconds each to do the whole game? It's ridiculous. Who moves the mouse the quickest, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't win that one. Definitely not.
Definitely the fastest hands in the West, Andrew Tang.
Oh, I like it.
The Penguin GM, as he's been known online for years. He's been a bit of a legend, but yeah, he plays 15-second chess very regularly.
15 seconds.
15 seconds, and he can complete a game in 5 seconds. He can mate you easily, and I've lost to him many times as well.
How quick are your wrists, David?
Despite the practice over the years, very slow, unfortunately. Can't compete with Andrew Tang. And nice to mention Dmitry Andreikin, we see at the top of the standings, joint on 4 out of 4, former candidate. Lenia Dominguez, of course, you mentioned, and Magnus, Andrew Tang, Alireza Frouzja still up there. It's going to be a bit of a scramble in the next round.
And of course, Lebedev is up there, winning his game against Hikaru Nakamura. Simon, what is your biggest win in Title Tuesday? Which one are you the most proud of?
I was going to say beating David, but I've only lost to him, so it's not beating David. I don't know. I started a couple of times with 5 out of 5, I think,
nice.
like twice. And then I lost to Grischuk. So I've beaten some decent players, but I've never played Magnus as far as I can remember. But I blank out all my losses, and there's many of them, so I can't remember. I mean, David has won this competition before, though. I mean, I've been playing for 10 years, and I think maybe I've come top 10 once. But winning this competition, it is the elite of the elite. As you say, the Premier League of chess, and it's getting revamped now. So it's going to be very exciting every Tuesday from now on. But David, you've won it, right?
Yeah. And
twice.
The first time was joint first with like 5 other players, I think back in 2016, so a long time ago. I was a bit of a chicken there. I was like leading, and then I just like drew all my last few games just to try and cement it. The last time was in January 2022, but I don't think Hikaru was there. Magnus wasn't there. Frouzja wasn't there. I didn't play anyone above my rating, so I was a bit lucky. I lost early and kind of went on an easier run. But
that's very humble, you say. You should never admit to these things. You should be
like,
I
when Magnus and
they were somewhere. So but I mean, winning this is incredibly hard. Anyone who can win this competition is clearly a bit of a legend. Even coming in the top 20. There's so many players. It's the elite of the elite. You've got the best chess players in the world, and they can all play in this. In a lot of over-the-board competitions, you can't get there. There's reasons, but here you just plug in and you play.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like round 4 is now finished, or just 2 games still, 2 results still incoming, and 12 players on 4 out of 4. We've got some surprise wins, some very young players. I must admit, every Title Tuesday, I always learn of someone new. And then 6 months later, they always turn out to be 12 years old, super talent. But Bukreyev at the top there, first time I've heard of him. Klukin, I think I have seen, but very young, very dangerous player. And drawing down in 12th.
I've never.
He hasn't been drawing any games. He's been winning them all.
Good to hear those those words coming back. But I mean, it's crazy how many of the names we haven't heard of. I haven't heard of half the players I play, half the players that do well, and it's a great way for those younger players to appear on the scene and show their worth.
On top of the standing now is, Stanislav Bukarev. He is born in 2010, meaning he is only 15 or 15 years old. And of course, these standings go by tie breaks. There are, of course, tie breaks based on the rating of your opponents or
It's
something?
actually on the scores of all of your previous opponents added up. So it's like sum of opponent scores. So Magnus has played 4 opponents. His tie break will depend on how well they've done. So ultimately, it's kind of rewarding the player who's taken on the more inform field.
And remember, only the top 10 players on the final standings will receive points towards the Champions Chess Tour standings. And as we know, the top 6 players on the Champions Chess Tour standings at the end of the season, after 3 splits of Title Tuesday, will qualify for next year's Esports World Cup. Well, round 4 is over, and there will now be a little bit of a break before round 5.
I think
starts.
We had some games, actually. I think they might be coming in soon.
A lot of emotion happening, and a little bit of confusion happening as well, because is round 5 already starting?
It does look like we've got the live signal pop up. It looks like we've got pairings. I think we've got games too, but there is normally a bit of a break. So we're doing things differently this week.
We were told we had to do a 6-minute break after round 4, but it looks like we're jumping straight into more chess action, and we don't hate that. I'm okay with that. Magnus will play against Lenia Dominguez Perez, one of the very top guys in chess. That game doesn't seem like it has started. Alireza Firouzja is already playing his round 5 game. Who is Hikaru playing in this round? Let me see. Hassan is the name of Hikaru's opponent. Hikaru coming from a loss. So who do you want to, looking at this list, knowing that Hikaru lost in the previous round, Magnus being on fire, who do you guys want to follow in the next round?
Yeah, as much as I would love to follow Andrew Tang, I think the top 2 boards are real heavyweight clashes. Magnus Carlsen against Lenia Dominguez, and Zhumabayev, who's a very strong grandmaster from Kazakhstan. He's very dangerous. He's like a giant slayer. Despite his rating kind of fluctuating, he can beat anyone on his day. He takes on Alireza Firouzja. So I suggest one of the top 2.
One of the top 2. You choose then, Simon.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at board 2, because they've started, they've been playing, and obviously a big clash. We're going to, I'm sure, see more of Magnus as the event goes on. And it looks pretty even, that one, looking at the evaluation bar. And here we are.
Here we are. Alireza Firouzja is a speed demon. He came second in the Esports World Cup, playing the final against Magnus Carlsen. He is one of the very big favorites in Title Tuesday, especially with the format now being 5+0, no increment. He is fearless when it comes to low time on the clock in chess, playing here against Zhumabayev, a grandmaster. Yeah. And what are we seeing here in the opening?
Yeah, we're seeing Alireza maybe not play kind of correct chess, as we sometimes say. He's taking a bit of risk. He's allowed the white pawns to march forward in the center, very provocative from black. And that's why the eval bar does favor white right now. White has beautiful pawns. The d pawn as well is mobile, can step forward at any moment. There is a threat, I believe, right now to kind of destabilize things. For example, you can push a pawn, kick the bishop away, maybe push another pawn, and there might be some tactics that end up with white winning this black knight. So not fully stable here for Alireza, and he's ignored the threat. Look at this, massively better, almost winning now according to the eval bar for white. Zhumabayev, he might have to find a very accurate sequence of moves here, starting with pushing his pawn forward, deflecting the bishop, then hitting the queen steps forward, and maybe then moving the knight out the way. And it's a long sequence here. We won't show it yet. It might happen. But here we go. He's doing it the other order, and Alireza Firouzja about to lose a piece, Simon.
Yeah, it's a massive tactic, that. And it's one case where pushing Harry was not a good move. I mean, he missed the threat. That pawn in the middle of the board, very, very strong. And I don't see what black can do here. I mean, if the black queen moves, the black knight is going to be lost. I mean, here comes the a pawn. That comes next. And exactly as you pointed out, David. So this could be a very very big result here. And he's had to give up the piece.
Yeah, early shock there. Some of you might be wondering what happens if the bishop took that pawn. The white knight would have leapt forward. Triple attack there against the black queen, and black's other pieces hit too. So ultimately, it's a piece for 2 pawns. Zhumabayev is already on the brink of taking down Alireza Firouzja, and I wonder whether you can just continue grabbing. Queen takes pawn there. It's now only one piece for the only 1 pawn for the piece. Alireza Firouzja, unless he flags his opponent, I think he's going down.
Really?
Yeah, he's in a horrible position, a whole piece down. And I mean, this is where the top players are so strong as well. I mean, if I was in this position, I'd start to get nervous, you know, start to play bad moves. But a piece is a piece, and he should convert, especially with the queens off the board. It gives Alireza less chances to complicate the position and create counter chances here. The black knight trying to cause a bit of chaos, a bit of mayhem here, but with careful play, Alireza will lose this game.
Wow. That's going to be a heartbreak for Alireza Firouzja. Of course, Zhumabayev is a fantastic chess player. It's not the biggest upset that we could imagine. This is a player that definitely can beat the top guys in this format.
Yeah, they're all great players at the top now, especially now we've had the first third of the tournament over. You can see the players are, you know, getting equaler and equaler. And okay, it's good to see the video. At least Alireza has the open file for the rook now. That's something. You want to get your rooks on open files down that A file, attacking the knight. So he's got a little bit of pressure. He's got a time advantage as well, which, you know, 1.5 minutes for White. White's got to start moving a lot quicker here. Definitely.
And Rinat Zhumabayev, I mentioned earlier, super strong GM. He's been like the Kazakhstan #1 for years and years. But he's known to be very inconsistent. He can play genius chess, but he can also blunder. And time is never his friend. He's been a time trouble addict, even worse than me for years. I've played many bullet games with him. He's even slower than me, which is saying something. So I do think Firouzja's not reacted on the camera, despite blundering a piece earlier, because he knows there's always this chance. He's always got the clock on his side. And Zhumabayev, there's still so many pieces on the board. To win this in just 1 minute and 20 seconds, it's not going to be easy.
No, if anyone's making progress, it does seem like Black is slightly here as well, just in the position. It is a piece, though. I mean, talking about slow players, I played David a couple of games yesterday down the Good Night, a very famous bar in Oslo. And I couldn't believe how slow I was, David. I mean,
you and me both, Simon.
Oh, it's blitz chess. It's taking 5 seconds a move. What's going on? And these guys, they have to now move quicker. And White's still doing all right, though, here.
Hikaru has won his game here in round 5. We remember he lost in round 4. There are rumors, and I'm going to underline, it's rumors that he has reported that player who was a candidate master that he lost to in the previous round for cheating. I have no confirmed information that that's true, but these are stories that we will hear from Title Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, they have this new software now, which everyone uses, so they can check or whatever happens. But I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things we never like to hear it, but it's inevitable in online chess. And whatever the truth of the matter, reporting opponents, I think it should happen privately. I think you just report on the site and see what the decision is. But nobody likes to lose, and it's almost unheard of. It's very rare to see Hikaru lose to anyone below a grandmaster. Below that level. So understandable, but we should focus on the positives here.
Definitely.
And it's Zhumabayev on the brink of an upset, and the clock's leveling out now.
Yes, but I mean, they're both now getting to a minute left. I mean, White clearly doing well here, but he's got to start moving a lot quicker. 56 seconds left. He is making progress now, though. Eventually, the White piece is jumping into Black's position.
Yeah, Firouzja has lost complete control, lost most of his clock advantage here, and the white pieces, especially those white knights, just looking super strong. Black structure isn't great either, just 1 pawn for the knight deficit. Firouzja needs some tricks. He needs to go into hustle mode. We talk about different phrases in chess. Flagging is, of course, the big key here, but you can't play this slowly. Firouzja hasn't moved for 25 seconds, and there we go. Just a quiet rook move. How's that going to save him the game as the white knights jump?
Oh, was that a pre-move? No, okay, I thought it was a pre-move. A pair of knights get exchanged off, and the more exchanges that happen it generally favours the person with more material because it just simplifies the winning task. Imagine if you had an army and one side 100 more troops. If you killed off all the other troops, that side would win. And you're totally right here. Firouzja's got to go hustling. He's got to move quick. He's got to try to win on time. It's his only chance here.
Yeah, and more pawns disappearing. With that, Black's hope also disappearing, but 35 seconds each. The white rook is coming in. The white king is going to start advancing. And okay, the bar's dropping slightly, allowing a check. That is not necessarily something that Zhumabаев wanted to see. Look at this. Black pawns now.
I'm going to bet on Black. I think I know he's losing, but he's so quick. And look at the time, 24 seconds. Oh. You've got to play quicker here. You've got to start playing instant chess. I think Firouzja's going to do this.
Hyper bullet. We could see our first big time scramble of the day so far. Alireza Firouzja, 20 seconds. Can he keep that 2-second advantage? The black king is coming in. There's a real counterplay against the white king here. It's not going to be easy at all. Fastest finger first. It's going to be the fastest player who wins this game.
Buckle up, guys. Remember, there is no increment.
It's all on the clock. This is just on the clock. And he's playing for a win as well. I think he could have taken a draw there. He's going for it.
He's going for it. He keeps giving checks, and it's never easy to make quick moves, pre-moves, when you're being checked. The black king can come in at any time. The black rook can keep moving. Oh, look at this. It's a few seconds each. The red appears on Zhumabаев's clock. Only a few seconds left now.
Oh, wow. Both sides are critically low on time. It's just going to be on the clock. You don't even think about playing the best moves here. You just play quickly. They're both under 10 seconds.
This is intense.
Anything can happen, and who's got the time advantage? It is Alireza at the moment.
Oh, I think we'll have to watch the cameras. There's going to be a huge reaction either way from one of the players as soon as the clock happens, as soon as the flag happens. White is still winning this position with the pawn on the e-file, about to become a queen or cost black his rook. But it's all about the pre-moves, and Firouzja wins!
Alireza Firouzja wins on the clock. Wow, Zhumabаев, look at that. Massive reaction. He slams the board. He's massively better on the board, but he has lost on time. Wow, that must be the worst way to lose. He is so close to beating one of the best players in the world. Put yourself in his shoes, David. How is he feeling now?
It's heartbreak. You can see he tried to compose himself. He has, to be fair to him, composed himself very quickly, Zhumabаев, but we saw the outbreak of emotion, of passion, of anger. Still a long way to go in this tournament, but yeah, that is the small margins at the top level of chess. If he was just 1-2 seconds faster, he would have won that game. And yeah, Firouzja lives to tell the tale despite having a bit of a shock on the board.
Wow, that was intense. And look at Alireza Firouzja, still super chill, not stressed at all. Winning on time, losing on the board, but winning on time. All right, big win there for Alireza Firouzja, but round 6 is about to start. Wow, that one lasted until the very end, and we have to jump into a game in round 6. Look at this. We still see now, okay, we have 4 players on 5 points. Magnus Carlsen is not one of those. He had a draw against Lenier Dominguez in round 5. Which game should we jump into, David?
And here we have a choice. Is it the leaders or is it Magnus Carlsen? Because Magnus plays a very strong player, Friedrichsfahne, a German international, and one of the top grandmasters over there. But I think we should stay with Alireza to see if he can fight the speed of Andrew Tang. Speed is both of their kind of number one weapons here.
You guys mentioned Andrew Tang, just a speed demon. So let's follow Alireza Firouzja against Andrew Tang, 2 big grandmasters and 2 experts in this format. 5+0. What are we seeing on the board?
Seeing the very early stages of what started as a Roy Lopez, a Spanish opening, and Bobby Fischer would be kind of turning here. He would be so angry that White has traded off his light squared bishop, the Spanish bishop. But yeah, it's a tricky line, and the computer approves. White has a very strong pawn center. Simon, whose chances do you prefer long term?
Well, at the moment, I quite like White's position. As you say, I like having the center. I like having the extra space. And I like this idea of trying to swap off the dark square bishops, the bishop which protects Black's king. And, of course, the H-pawn is going to come up the board soon. White has the attacking chances here. So I like attacking. I like White's chances. He's not going to flag Andrew Tang, though. That's one thing for sure. And I was amazed how calm he was there in that last game. You know, he was completely lost, no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah, it's one thing seeing the board, it's one thing seeing the clock, but to see the camera, and to see the players' emotions, yeah, Alireza, he's been there, he's done it before, of course.
Yeah.
I believe he's played tens of thousands of kind of bullet and blitz games in his life. But
well, we're getting a nice view of Andrew Tang's haircut there, at least. So, you know.
Nice wall, nice paint job.
Yeah, he's done a very good job
And
painting
is that
wall.
toilet paper?
You think he's playing from the toilet? Is that what we're...
I mean, you would save time in the breaks.
You have to have 2 cameras now, so it'd be a bit
true.
strange.
We've all been there. We've all played blitz chess in the bathroom.
That's where I play most of my chess.
I bet actually most chess is played in toilets across the world.
Yeah, it's a nice hypothesis.
Well, Alireza Fruja is definitely not in the toilet. He's better on the bar. I think maybe he is in Samarkand. I think maybe he is playing from the location where Grand Swiss will start in 2 days. And I mean, he's on fire today. He's on a perfect score so far, and he's playing super fast. But now he's up against another speed demon, Andrew Tang, both on 5 points. And Andrew has ticked under 3 minutes. What is it looking like on the board? Has anyone got a slight edge here?
Yeah, the eval bar says it's balanced, and I trust that. I think Black's compensation for the lack of center, for the attacking chances that White has, is the bishop pair long term. But yeah, whether or not he's playing from the toilet or not, Andrew Tang, it does look a bit smelly, or feel a bit smelly. The white queen, white knight, white bishop, they're lurking nearby. Checkmate in the air. I think it's very scary, at least for Black.
Okay.
I love your the way you just get those words in there, David. Very clever. And I expect exchange of queens would help Black generally here, but there's potentially a problem with one of Black's pawns, right?
Yeah, now you've lost a very important move there as Andrew Tang. You've also lost a minute on the clock since the last couple of moves happened, and when the Black Knight inevitably has to jump to safety, White cracks off that pawn on c7. Not just that, but the White Rook's going to land on the 7th rank, 7th heaven we call it, because it has all the targets there. So Alireza is going up a pawn, and that's why he has the advantage.
Yes, and that is a very powerful move, that rook coming in, and you've got the 2 bishops, but Black's bishop on the left-hand side, the light on the light squares, is not a very good piece. It's blocked out at this moment in time. So it's looking very good for Alireza. And you sometimes feel when you have a win like you did in the last game, you ride your luck, and luck is on your side. Obviously, I think you create your own luck, and he did that, but it is kind of a factor here.
Yeah, you suddenly believe that it's your week. You suddenly believe that fate is on your side. And chess players, they see patterns, they think it's destiny. And he'll think that he's going to win this tournament now. But okay, the white rook is about to be traded off. It's being chased. It's only a pawn, and Black does have a different, very strong bishop. A sniper here, ready to grab a pawn. So okay, Alireza defends it with his knight. Very classy move there. And the fight continues. I'm going to say, yeah, White has the advantage, but it's more the clock. And just the fact that Andrew Tang may be a bit nervous now, that's going to turn this in Farouja's favour.
He's actually got toilet roll behind him, I've just realised.
Yeah.
Toilet roll?
I missed that before. So yeah, okay.
I didn't bring that up for no reason.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should have brought that up, but I was just like, wow, maybe Kai has found something here. So, yeah.
He actually has toilet paper. All right, the bar jumps up for Alireza Fruja, who has much more time on the clock. Much better now. Do you think he's going to win another one, David?
Yeah, that was a really nice move, actually, the counter-attack. His own knight was attacked, but he threatened the black knight in return, and now he's 2 pawns to the good, despite some pins, despite his best efforts. It looks like Andrew Tang here is going to go down. Bishop takes pawn, I should mention, would have been met by the white rook sliding, and there would have been both black bishops hit. So we see some changes, and Farouja, he's just going into an endgame where the white knight is going to be super stable on a very nice square. I'm expecting him to retreat in order to blockade black's isolated pawn, and then it's going to be one-sided traffic. The black bishop's really bad here.
Well, he's gone for a tactical solution here, which might also work, David. I guess that pawn is going to be lost. I mean, there isn't much material on the board, though, so I still feel black has some chances. We know how quick Andrew is here, but maybe not enough chances. 2 pawns is 2 pawns.
Yeah, 2-pawn advantage. Still some trouble if the black rook ever gets down to the 2nd rank, but Farouja, I'm expecting him to find a nice way to deal with that, and maybe start pushing some of the white pawns. I don't think you need to even rush here, and eventually the time and the extra 2 pawns should count. He's going to be on 6 out of 6 if he gets this win. That's going to be incredible. There have been very few occasions, only 7 times, I believe, in Title Tuesday history over the last 10, 11 years that 100% has been achieved.
Really? 11 out of 11. It's that rare.
It's that rare. I believe there have been over 550 tournaments, and only 7 times someone has hit the jackpot and got the maximum.
It's a big jackpot to get. But look at the position, David. I mean, this is still good for white, but it's not much material on the board now. So, oh, I don't like that move. Ooh. It's a big lashing move there. And oh dear, is that a piece gone? It is. Yeah, gets there in the end.
Another big win for Alireza Firouzja. So calm, so much in control. He wins against Andrew Tang and gets another point. He is on a perfect score, 6 out of 6 for Alireza Firouzja. Look at this. We have a bunch of players playing, a bunch of players streaming. Hikaru Nakamura right now, silent. Is he very focused in his game? He is playing Dinesh in his game. And we saw Lazovic there as well. Lazovic just lost to Lenia Dominguez Perez. Magnus Carlsen is coming from another win here. He wins against Svana, a German top grandmaster. Magnus now on 5.5 points. So he is trailing Alireza Firouzja. Still, a bunch of games are happening. But
there's 2 people on maximum points actually. So that's, you know, two very strong players. And okay, well, Hikaru seems to have a lot of pieces here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
And just a funny thing to point out, Hikaru could earlier have promoted a pawn to a queen and delivered checkmate in one move, but he promoted to a bishop instead. He's just playing with his food here. He's having fun with his young Indian opponent. Hikaru will win, but cutting it a bit close on the clock here.
Do you think it's a bit insulting to play on against a strong player? It's checkmate next move. He wants it. Oh, what's he doing here? He's showing off here. And he does it in the end. Gives up a couple of pieces to deliver the checkmate.
Hikaru Nakamura having some fun. A win for him against a candidate master from India. Dinesh losing to one of the biggest favorites. Hikaru Nakamura looking comfortable in his streaming room, talking to his fans. Of course, you guys, streaming is a huge part of Title Tuesday. You can follow us here in the broadcast. We have more of a bird's eye view. We follow all the action and we choose one game to follow each and every round. Or you can follow your favorite streamers. Magnus is, of course, also streaming from his streaming room next door, actually. And Eric Hansen is also streaming here from the Take office in Oslo. And look at that. Yeah, Magnus is talking to his fans right now. How about Eric in silence, maybe looking over his game? How did Eric do in the previous? He's still playing.
He's still playing, and he won by checkmate with 1 second on his clock left.
Oh, wow.
Eric Hansen.
He's leaving it really tight, right?
Oh, look at that. And he closed his eyes, relieved.
Yeah.
A great win for Eric there with the black pieces in round 6. So round 6 is rounding up, and we're going to head straight into round 7 as soon as the pairings has been done. We do have 2 players on a perfect score so far. Alireza Firouzja and Andre Kin, both on 6 points. Magnus Carlsen 5.5. And Hikaru Nakamura will now be on 4.5.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out Eric again. Apparently, at 1 minute, at one point, I'm being told he had 4 seconds left against his opponent's 1 minute, and he just pre-moved his way to checkmate. Wow. At the end, it was a bit of a scramble, but yeah, 1 second left to win a game. That's the most satisfying thing in chess.
I don't even know how to pre-move, so it's yeah, very, very clever to do that, and it's getting a lot closer at the top as well. I mean, you've got these 4 players currently just behind, so they're just biting on the heels of Firouzja and Adrakin. That's going to be a big matchup. I mean, Adrakin, we haven't mentioned him, but he plays this regularly and does extremely well, and we might be getting the games any second.
Yep, we do have the top battle between Alireza Firouzja and Andre Kin heading into round 7. We should definitely follow that game. Will we see still one player on a perfect score after round 7? Or will they play a draw? Here we go. It is Andre Kin with the white pieces. What are we seeing on the board, David?
Yeah, so it's a branch of the Queen's Gambit. Initially, the Queen's Gambit was declined. Now it's been accepted, and that's kind of indicated by black grabbing a pawn on c4, now hanging onto that pawn with the knight. So black a pawn up, but that might not last too long. The pawn rarely survives for the rest of the game. And Andre Kin, we should mention, very well-prepared player, very classy positional player. He'll be itching to get back that pawn. He hates sacrificing in general. His name online is Fair Chess on YouTube, so he loves he loves the fair play, and he loves these slow positional battles, Simon.
Yeah, he's quite a positional player, I'd say, whilst Alireza isn't such a positional player, but also these considerations, it's changed quite a lot. To be a top chess player, you have to be good at every form of chess, positional, tactical. You've got to be good at the whole game now. We see the doubling of White's pawns here, but in some ways this can give White a bit more of a grip of the centre. I had this pawn structure actually against Nigel Short, I think, once a long time ago, and the camera now comes on fairly even so far.
Yeah, very even here. White has the extra space, more centralized pieces, more control there, but Black has the 2 bishops and a slightly better pawn structure long term. Yeah, I think if colors were reversed, Alireza would really like this with White. Great attacking chances, ideas of sacrificing later to blow open the Black structure. But he's Black, he's defending for now. Very interesting. Firouzja looks bang in form, but Andrejkin to get to 6 out of 6 must have been in pretty decent shape himself.
100%. This is round 7 in game week 1 of the autumn split with a brand new title Tuesday, the Premier League of chess. We hope you are enjoying watching it together with us, and that it's going to be a regular thing for you to tune in every single Tuesday wherever you are in the world to watch Title Tuesday together with us. It's all about glory every single Tuesday, but it's also about qualifying for the big Esports World Cup. And Alireza Firouzja, it's looking good for him now to score points towards the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard today. If you guys want to talk to us, then join in on the chat on either Twitch or YouTube on the Take channels. Leave your comments. Maybe you want to decide which games we should follow in the next rounds. Well, let us know. Which players do you guys want to follow? This is an obvious one, the 2 players on top of the standings on a perfect score. Will we see a winner in this game, or will we see a draw?
Oh, there's very few draws in Title Tuesday, which I quite like.
I love it.
Compared to classical chess and kind of these top events, recently the Sinkfield Cup, I think something like 75% games were drawn there. Here, even if the position is level, we see some flagging, Simon.
Yeah, I think it's a really good advantage of the quicker time limits. I mean, you rarely get a draw, especially now that it's changed to 5 minutes, because you can flag your opponent. And as you said, I think earlier on, David, people do complain a bit when you get flagged, but it's part of the game. If you move slow, you deserve to lose. And this is something I found out to my problems many a time. But looking at the position here, I like White's position. But again, I think it's quite well known that I love attacking. And there's a White rook that can swing over. Black's king, to me, looks quite weak. So this is a great idea, trying to get rid of White's most dangerous attacking piece, the strongest piece, the queen. And maybe it's not so bad for Black after this move, the centralizing queen move. White has picked up a pawn, though.
Yeah, he's picked up a pawn, allowed the queen trade. It's not the best pawn in the world. The f-pawns on this file, they're going to struggle to move. I think Black's going to have great counterplay if the rooks can ever use the b file to start attacking. But yeah, for now, probably we would pick White just because of the extra material. Although Firouzja, I think he's done a good job there of just minimizing the damage and to avoid the Black king and getting attacked.
Meanwhile, I did notice that Eric Hansen is playing Cuenca in this round, and that must be Pepe Cuenca.
Pepe Cuenca.
Yeah, the fantastic Spanish commentator known for his yelling.
I can't even say it right.
And Eric is massively better on the bar. All right.
Yeah. Interesting. If this game finishes soon, we could jump.
Yeah.
But for now, we stay in this clash between leaders. I do have a feeling it's going to be a draw. If there's a trade of pawns in the center, a trade of bishop for knight as well, we could see everything explode. At the end, Black will pick back the pawn that he's down, and this one should be guided towards a very quick peace treaty.
Okay. Alireza Firouzja is down on the clock with more than a minute. Does not look stressed. But could that become a big problem for him in this game, which says balanced right now?
Yeah, both players look ice cold. That's because the cameras are frozen right now. But I don't think he'd be stressed even if we could see him. Alireza Firouzja. I think he's just mulling over whether he can play for a win. But I think you need to be pragmatic here and just go for equality. Take everything off the board and try to get it down to a rook endgame.
Yeah, I think as you say, David, it looks like many exchanges are going to happen. There you go. Things getting exchanged off. It's now equal material. You might be thinking, okay, Black's got a passed pawn there, but it's quite easy to deal with. White, and White now playing this very active move, and if anything, you in a rook ending, it's who's got the more active pieces, and White's rooks are, to my eyes, much more active. He can even consider pushing that pawn forwards and trying to get 2 rooks on the 7th rank. This was an idea that the old specialist Nimzovich mentioned in his book, My System. 2 rooks on the 7th rank should win the game. So a little bit of danger of Black here, especially with the time ticking down.
Yeah, it's definitely not fully safe. If you remove one pair of rooks, it's nearly definitely a draw. But here we go. Andrekin's trying to create some magic. He's trying to go on the attack, like Simon says. Very, very active. The other rook can slide behind, so Black's pawn is not going to survive very long. It's just a question of whether White can break through on the other flank, just while keeping all the rooks on the board. Even 4 versus 3 on one side is draw, as long as it's only one pair of rooks remaining.
And I like this move. It's trying to tempt White into moving a pawn forward 2 squares, which would weaken White's king. White's king is very safe at the moment, but you kind of, I know it's an ending, but with 2 rooks on the board, your king can get in a lot of trouble. So more exchanges means more likelihood of reaching a drawn ending.
Meanwhile, Magnus Carlsen is much better in his round 7 game. Hikaru Nakamura is massively better in his round 7 game, and Erik Hansen is in a winning position, apparently, against Pepe Cuenca in round 7. But we are following the top guys both on a perfect score. Will we still see a player on a perfect score after round 7? It sounds like if there is a player, you think right now it's going to be Andrekin.
Probably, if anything, and that's just because Black's pawns are all isolated. White has a connect 3, nice and safe. Still going to be very hard, but the Black rook is actually quite passive in front of its own pawn. White's rook holds the key there. The Black king cut off on the back rank. This isn't Firouzja's type of position either. He's not a technician. He doesn't like these slower endgames where you need to kind of know a bit of endgame theory. You need to be very, very precise. He likes to hustle his opponents a bit, and Andrekin's a very classy endgame player. Andrekin, I should mention, he's of the 1990 generation that Magnus, Nepo, Vasily Grava all from, and he was the first standout talent.
And yourself, David.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, David, you were there.
He won the World Under 10 Championship ahead of all of us, though.
Really?
Andrekin. So he was the first one to stand out.
Did you play in that?
I played. I came joint second, I think.
Wow.
Oh, that's not bad.
There were like 10 of us on joint second, and Andrekin.
Yeah. Ahead of Magnus?
I think Magnus only joined maybe a year or 2 later. He was a bit of a slow starter. I think he only picked up chess at like 9 years old on a kind of international level. But this one looking drawn in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, Black's pawn really ties down White's pieces here, and the White king can't really do anything else here because you know, it can't really go forwards too much. Maybe you could try going forwards now, but it's very hard to make any progress. I would try flagging a little bit here, though, because, again, this is the one big difference with this week's tournament. You can use the clock. Hang on a minute, rook f3, it's a check all day. That'd be very embarrassing.
Yeah, rook f3 would be a nice deflection, kicking the white rook away, but after the white rook takes, luckily you hit the king. And, okay, Firouzja's given up his pawn. He's down to 23 seconds. This is a dead-drawn endgame. White can't create a pass pawn effectively. It's a draw, but you definitely play this. You can play this on for 50 moves, 100 moves.
We know how quick, though, Firouzja is, and he's got to use that time. But White actually creeping forwards now, and the White king getting to this quite scary square. It is a draw, but keep an eye on the clock here.
And look how the rooks are dancing. He's trying to preempt Firouzja's moves. Andrekin, he's trying to catch Firouzja in a pre-move because you just want to bring your rook back and forward, back and forward. But if the opponent can try to threaten rooks, it can be a bit scary. Look at this, he's blocking. Can Andrekin get there? 30 seconds against just 12. It's going to be right down to the last few moments here. Oh, it's not easy to save this for Firouzja, but he's found a defensive mechanism here. It should still be a draw.
Oh, but with this time on the clock, he's under 10 seconds, and it should be a draw, but you can play another 50 moves here. And also, it's danger.
Mate in 5.
Oh, look at this. He's allowed the rook to come across with a checkmate. He's trapped his own king in the corner. The black rook is hit as well, and Andrekin takes the point, takes the lead. 7 out of 7.
Wow, impressive stuff by Grandmaster Andrekin, who takes down Alireza Firouzja. 3 seconds left on his clock, and he loses on the board. Oh, look at that heartbreak for Alireza Firouzja. But Andrekin, all right, how is he feeling right now, David?
Wow, he's going to be buzzing. He will believe that it's destiny that he wins this tournament. We've said it before, only a handful of times has anyone ever reached 11 out of 11. It's unlikely he's going to win all of his games, but he's taken the early lead. Firouzja is a big competitor for the crown as well, so huge win.
I love seeing him on the camera there. He is so confident, and he just wants to jump up and just celebrate this.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how they keep their cool.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the one thing I've realized, that if you start celebrating prematurely, you've still got 4 games. You lose your concentration. There's not any other sport that I've played or board game where you just have to keep your concentration. You can't preemptively celebrate. You've got to keep that focus. And I think that's what Andrekin is doing now. But look, he's at the top. And who's he going to play next?
Oh, look at that. Magnus Carlsen is coming from a win. He is on 6.5 points, and we have a battle between Magnus with the white pieces playing the tournament leader so far, Andrejkin. And here we go. The game has started. What are we seeing, David?
Wow, this is Magnus not messing around anymore. No more h4. He means business. He's played the Catalan opening. It's his favorite these days. He only plays this when he really respects the opponent and really wants to win. Magnus Carlsen. He's half a point behind his opponent. He can leapfrog him here with a victory. Andrejkin really flexed physically, kind of literally and figuratively in the previous game. He needs to do that again to better Magnus here.
I have to say, Title Tuesday is brutal. You play a fantastic game, you win against one of the top dogs, and then straight in to play the world's highest rated player, Magnus Carlsen.
It doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
You know, you can only relax when you win it and you get to the end of the competition, and it's quick, it's fast, it's exciting. And Magnus here has slammed his knight right into Andrejkin's position there, and he had to get rid of the bishop. Magnus loves playing with the 2 bishops, so he's got that advantage. The one good thing for black is the extra pawn. At least he's got that to fall back on.
Yeah, normally if you have some defects in your position, you need something to suffer for, and having an extra pawn is a good reason. Magnus trades off some bishops in the meantime, and the bar goes to better for Andrejkin. Maybe Magnus has kind of not played as energetically as he should have done. Maybe keeping the bishops was the idea. Maybe he should have already kind of sprinted forward in the center. Black does have a very nice square for the knights, I should mention. There's b4 squares and outpost. Magnus has compensation, but is it enough? That's a big question. I think dream start for Andrejkin.
Yeah, I mean, Magnus is trying to play it very positional, David, I think, isn't he? He's just trying to slowly but surely improve things. I still like Magnus' position because one thing I think at the quicker time limits, it helps a lot to have the initiative. He's got to watch that queen now. He's got to move that out of the way. The queen is attacked by the knight. And he did throw the h-pawn up the board, gaining a little bit of space over there. Fairly even this so far.
Yeah, fairly even. Magnus will most likely retreat to this square. Oh, he actually offers a queen trade despite being a pawn down. And look at that, much better for black now.
Wow.
Oh, something's gone wrong. Maybe Magnus has miscalculated what happens here. Because yes, he's got a very beautiful knight. The white knight is glorious now. It's landed on this square, but a pawn is a pawn.
I mean, look at that a-pawn, David. Can't black just start shoving? There it goes. Here comes Harry. And it's Harry the a-pawn, and it's coming running down the board. It's Harry's brother. He's the naughty one. He's called Harry. Gets in trouble all the time, but sometimes becomes the queen. And he's trying to become a queen now.
It's Andrejkin the a-pawn.
That's a bit better. Yeah.
Okay.
Much better on the bar for Andrejkin. He is on fire today. Is this the player that will win game week 1 in the autumn split? He's up against the highest rated player in the world, Magnus Carlsen, with 3.5 minutes on the clock.
And you can see it on Magnus's face here. He seems to be a little bit more concerned than he normally is. He realizes that he's got a lot of work to do here. It's a very calm move he plays. He's just trying to move his king, improve things. He's basically saying, you will not pass. He's hoping that black can't do anything. And the move there is the big move that Magnus has got to be worried about at some point. If black can ever play that move and advance forwards, that could become a queen and kill Magnus's position.
Yeah, Magnus, he just can't improve his rooks. That's the issue. The white knight is already perfect, doesn't want to move the white bishop. Can't really improve that either. So he's pushing forward, looking for some distraction. Andrejkin maybe pushes the button at the wrong moment. The eval bar not making its mind up there, but saying it's balanced yet again. And can Magnus create some counterplay? He's kicking the knight now, the defender of the c6 pawn. I think Andrejkin rushed. He was slightly premature there. Now the black pawn no longer defends the knight. He's a bit loose. He has to lose the material that he was up. Suddenly Magnus back in the game. 3 results possible.
He's very back in the game here. And he's also used that space on the king side. So the 3 results, yeah, I mean, you would have think the tide is now in Magnus's way, on his side, should I say, because he's pushing. He's won that pawn. And he looks a little bit more relaxed as well.
Yeah, Magnus, he's opening up the position. This is a good tip for everyone at home. If you've got the bishop, the only unchallenged bishop on the board, open up those lines. There's a lot of targets on this diagonal. He's trying to soften up the black pawn in front of the king here, which defends the black knight, the only thing holding black's position together. So momentum, Magnus Carlsen, definitely.
Yeah. Yes, black trying to make some exchanges here to get rid of that momentum. And the one good thing at the moment that Andrejkin has with the black pieces is that passed B pawn. That B pawn is only, 3 squares from queening. but white has the central control and the chances to enter into black's position a bit easier. Both now spent about half their time. And you would have thought if Magnus needs to win this competition, he's got to win this position, really, because he's half a point behind. He's got chances. He's fought back. If he wants to win this new Title Tuesday event, the big Premier League of chess, he's got to convert this position.
Yeah, he's a big Premier League fan. He's been playing fancy Premier League for years. He'll want to win this Premier League too. And yeah, definitely these days, like back in the past, people would halve their way to victory or they would play a bit safer. These days, you need 10 out of 11 or you need some monster score in order to win the events, especially if you know someone's on fire like Andreikin. So this is all important, but it's another rook endgame. Andreikin loves them. And he did very well against Ferrugia in the last one.
Yeah. Let us know who you're rooting for. Are you a Magnus fan? Maybe you're rooting for Andreikin. Let us know in the Twitch or YouTube chats on the Take channels. Maybe you're a big Hikaru fan. He is in trouble here in round 8. Massively better Drigalov, his opponent, with the black pieces. Will Hikaru lose this game? We will pay attention to that. But this is balanced. And this is the top board. Magnus with 6.5 points. Andreikin so far on a perfect score. Will he keep it up and beat Magnus Carlsen? He is slightly better on the clock as well.
Yeah, look at that.
If I was white here, I'd be very scared. This is called, I don't know, the guillotine technique, where you use the 2 rooks, or the lawnmower, like you go up and down with your 2 rooks, cutting your opponent's king. And if that rook gets that square, it's checkmate. So I don't think black is any danger. He might be able to force the draw here if he wants to, just by moving the rook back and forwards. But can he try to win this, David?
Yeah, the problem is the black king is also kind of caught in a cage. White's rook is going to come up and check the black king, and no matter where it goes, it's not going to be able to escape the checks. Magnus is going to have to bail out with more checks before the white pawns all drop. I think Magnus has to be pragmatic here. It's going to be a draw. That means Andreikin's going to keep the lead on his own. Magnus had to admit defeat here in his quest to win this game.
We see almost like a sigh of relief from Andreikin there. A draw against Magnus Carlsen is a good result. He is still on a fantastic score. We're definitely not going to see 11 out of 11 today in Title Tuesday, but Andreikin will still be on top of the standings with 7.5 points. Look at Magnus talking to his fans on his Point of View stream. Eric Hansen is still playing. He's got the black pieces against Gomez. And on my Take app, it says balanced in that game. Alireza Ferrugia has come back with a win. He is now also on 7 points together with Magnus and Esipenko. Look at that. He's up on 7 points. And we should jump into another game. Let's go to Hikaru Nakamura. Okay, now he's much better with the white pieces against Grandmaster Drigalov.
Yeah, and I've played Drigalov many times, actually, and although he sports the South Korean flag on Chess.com and in his profile picture here, he's actually from Russia, and he's very quick, very dangerous. We see the white pieces flooding forward now. Hikaru's a pawn up, and the eval bar saying he's winning, but just a few moves ago, he was dead lost. The black pawn was actually very close to promotion and should have been able to punch that pawn through, but Hikaru, still winning apparently, and there we go. He gets rid of the danger zone, that dangerous pawn on e3.
Yeah. Impressive beard there as well.
Oh, I like it.
Good work, yeah.
Yeah.
But Hikaru needs to win this one to have a good competition. You know, he's not having his best Title Tuesday so far, and it looks like he's making the progress. He's getting into the position. Black would love to move the rook down with a check, but the white bishop is so powerful. Pieces in the middle of the board, they control so many squares, and that bishop controls everything. There goes the queen. That must be the end of the game.
There we go. Discovered attack. It's a check there to throw the bishop out the way. The black queen would have dropped next move, and Drigalov resigns.
He's lost years. He lost the game, and he lost 20 years.
It's like Pokemon. He evolved.
Yeah.
The beard came off.
Yeah.
Sitting in the dark looked very cool, but he's coming now from a loss. Hikaru Nakamura makes a comeback, winning here in round 8. We also see Lazovic with a very impressive room. So many trophies for young Denis Lazovic. I think it was also the room of Alireza Ferrugia, who is in second place, together with some other players on 7 points. Andreikin is still in sole lead with 7.5 points, coming from a draw against Magnus Carlsen. Wow, it's really, I mean, anyone can still win this, all the way down to 6 points. The players on 6 points, can they win it?
Yeah, definitely. They'll need a very strong finish, maybe win the last 3 of their games. I think the winning score here might be 9.5 at least in this event. And yeah, just to mention Hikaru, that win, so important. He's only 1 point behind the lead now, considering he lost to a candidate master, a CM, earlier. And the fact that he hasn't been playing well at all by his normal standards, Hikaru, he's still in the mix. Watch out for him.
Yeah, massive finish. And we've only got 3 rounds now. So we're coming to the sort of money end of the tournament. This is where the tension's higher. Players are more nervous. You lose a game here. This is where you can cry because you're out of the competition. Can Adrian keep his lead, or can those players biting at the heel come back and overtake him? It's going to be very exciting.
The players will get some time to breathe after this round before round 9 kicks off. At this point, I'll ask both of you, who will win game week 1 in Title Tuesday Autumn Split?
Oh, I'll say Alireza Ferrugia.
Okay.
I think he's going to flag his way to victory.
How about you, Simon?
Oh, can I be really boring and say Magnus?
You can.
No, I'm going to say Adrian. He's got the lead. Come on, he can keep the lead. Yeah, Adrian.
Okay.
What about you, Kaya?
Yeah.
Oh, who should I say then? Okay, well, I love the comebacks. I'm going to say Hikaru Nakamura. I'm going to say Hikaru Nakamura makes it. Yeah. Let's pay attention to all those players and all the other great players fighting here to win game week 1 of Title Tuesday, the Premier League of chess. Here we go. That seems like round 8 has concluded, and there will now be a short break for the players, but we're going to keep going here in the studio, talk about the action that is happening here in game week 1 of Title Tuesday. What's been the highlight so far for you, Simon?
It's so fast. I mean, Adrian sort of winning that, having that run of wins has been quite incredible, actually. But probably thinking about it was Ferrugia, a piece down, coming back from piece down to flag his opponent. I mean, you wouldn't get that on previous weeks, but in this, guillotine style of chess, that was very impressive to come back from that.
Yeah.
So really, yeah.
We already seen some big upsets, David. We already seen flagging. Heading into the last 3 rounds, what can we expect when the top dogs really start facing each other?
Well, some blood is going to be spilled, some honor is going to be taken. I think the highlights are still ahead. Like, I agree, there were some cool flagging battles, and Drake in some nice endgames against Ferrugia, for example, against Magnus there to hold. But yeah, when the likes of Magnus and Hikaru clash, when Magnus and Ferrugia clash, something dramatic always seems to happen. I just want to point out as well, just on the left of me here, if you look at the scores, nearly all white wins on the top 20 boards there.
Wow.
1 black win, 1 draw, everything else for white. So whoever gets 2 whites in the last 3 rounds, probably the favorite.
Oh,
you got some other literary names there, haven't you, as well? I just saw Grizchuk, one of my favorite players. He's up there, so it's great to see all these players taking part now. So,
are you guys missing playing it now?
No.
Would you have rage quit at this point?
Definitely. Well, probably I'd have 1 point, and I'll be like, yeah, God.
You're too modest, Simon. I remember you having some great runs in Title Tuesday.
I'm like a roller coaster. I'm either up here or down there. Normally down there. So, yeah, but I get really annoyed. It's emotional,
Yeah.
It's like what we do, and if we have a bad tournament, I get so frustrated, and it kind of like it's not fair. It's not fair on the other people in my house afterwards because I can get a bit. I've actually played backgammon with you, Dave, before.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Yeah, we're very competitive.
We are.
I think
Didn't I win that game?
I can't remember. I can't remember playing you, actually. I think you may have won.
I did win that.
Yes.
Oh, fun for me to win something, too. Well, it's fun with Title Tuesday, you guys. We are finished with 8 rounds, 3 rounds to go to decide the winner of Game Week 1. This is the Premier League of chess. You guys, it's starting. Title Tuesday, Game Week 1. Yeah. Ooh, and we have massively better now for Hikaru.
Yeah, he should be okay now because he's managed to grab that pawn, I think, pretty safely.
He plays one of the best moves, apparently, by breaking out in the center. White is still winning this position with the pawn on the e-file, about to become a queen or cost black his rook. But it's all about the pre-moves, and Ferrugia wins!
Jumabayev, look at that! Massive reaction. He slams the board. He's massively better on the board, but he has lost on time.
And also, it's danger.
Mate in 5.
Oh, look at this. He's allowed the rook to come across with a checkmate. He's trapped his own king in the corner. The black rook is hit as well, and Andrakin takes the point, takes the lead. 7 out of 7.
And now he's on 7.5 points. Undraken coming from a draw against Magnus Carlsen. He is in sole lead with 3 rounds to go. Look at that, Hikaru Nakamura. He's had a loss so far today, but he's also made a comeback. He still has a chance to win game week 1. Alireza, he's been on fire. He's on 7 points. Denis Lasovic, always a big favorite. And it's going to be exciting to see the matchups for round 9 when the big dogs really start facing off. We do not have the pairings yet. Who can we expect now in the next one? We could even see, Magnus against Alireza.
It's very possible. Magnus looks very relaxed. Not as relaxed as Erik Hansen, though. I can tell you the Dave Cave is super comfortable. That he's loving life. It looks like the Love Cave almost from the sign from here. And yeah, nice to see Erik chilling and doing some winning along the way.
Yeah, and it's of course it's called the Dave Cave because it's your streaming room, your room. What can we expect from you in the Dave Cave, David? What will be coming from the Dave Cave?
So much. Like, you couldn't believe what's coming next. No, I mean, I will be having some fun streams, some watch parties maybe, just watching along some big tournaments, hopefully some educational content, some recap videos, everything. So,
and are you going to play in this, David, again?
Maybe in the summer break after the first 3 splits.
Okay.
I'll get the itch, Simon. Surely you will too.
I'll probably play next week, I'll probably be on it, like a carb on it, as we say in England.
What would be the name of your streaming room?
Oh, I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
Well, we can ask chat on YouTube or Twitch. What should be the name of... Simon does a lot of streaming. He does a lot of commentary. He does a lot of recaps and videos.
Yeah.
You should have a sign behind you.
I should do, I mean, I only do Title Tuesday now every week. So I've got my little, on YouTube. And I do generally enjoy playing Blitz. So it is fun, but it's a lot better when it's going well. And it's very tough, in this time limit with the non-increment, it's hard. And I think we might, the next round may be getting on now as well.
We have pairings for round 9. It's going to be Undraken, the tournament leader so far, against Min Le. Magnus plays Sarana. Hikaru plays Esipenko. Big one there. We have Dominguez Perez against Alireza. David, you always have a good gut feeling. Who should we follow?
Oh, this one's tough.
This one is tough.
I'm going to give Simon the choice, but I'm going to give 2 candidates on the shortlist. Yeah. Sarana against Magnus Carlsen or Esipenko against Hikaru.
That was the first one that jumped out to me was Esipenko versus Hikaru. Esipenko, I think he just got married. I saw somewhere, but he's a really strong, young player. And there he is. And, well, Hikaru needs to win this one as well to have a chance to win a competition. Big matchup.
It is basically must win for Hikaru to keep up with the players on top of the standings. And the game has started. Hikaru with the black pieces. Slightly better for Esipenko here. What are we seeing, David?
Yeah, it's still early days. It's still one of the main lines of the Sicilian. And essentially, White has a small advantage because White has control over a nice square, an outpost that can't be challenged by any black pawns on d5. But yeah, Hikaru is a master at just maneuvering in these types of positions. And I will mention it is definitely must win because he's been upfloated. We talked about the Swiss system. Normally you play someone on the same points as yourself, but Hikaru gets an opportunity to leapfrog someone just above him in the standings. And to keep the pace, he needs to win with black. No easy task against a former candidate like Esipenko.
Yeah, and we see some pawn exchanges there. Now that hole has sort of been covered, which I think generally favors black a little bit, and the evaluation bar might reflect that. And black, I kind of prefer to be black now because black's got a straightforward plan. You look where the pawn structure, black has what we call a majority of pawns on the king side, 4 pawns there versus white's 3. So you want to try to use those pawns because they can overwhelm your opponent's position. So I like that plan for black and I like attacking on the king side. So now, and there he goes, I'm going to say I'd rather be in black shoes, but in all fairness, it's still equal.
Yeah, these were the types of positions that back in the day, I sound like a grumpy old man, but back in the days of like Bobby Fischer and others who were playing these kind of Sicilian Najdorf positions, it was just assumed these were just fantastic for black. The black pawns motor forward, as Simon says, they go towards the white king and you deliver checkmate. It was kind of a pre-written script. But computers have come in and said, okay, I can defend, and in the meantime, I have counterplay on the other side. As we see the eval bars roughly level, it's a matter of taste. Essentially, for white, you're going to try and promote or make a new queen. For black, you're going for checkmate. So I think, in general, for the storyline of Title Tuesday in this game, it's good news for Hikaru. in his winning attempts because it is so imbalanced, and it's going to be a real fight. I don't think this one's going to be a draw.
Okay. Well, we love to hear that. Hikaru Nakamura on 6.5 points, 3 minutes on the clock. We know he is amazing in online blitz chess. He's always great when there's a little time on the clock. He is number 2 in the world, also in classical chess. What is his style, David?
Universal.
Yeah, like Magnus then.
Like Magnus. And actually, I do feel Hikaru over the years has evolved a lot. He's kind of like, you know, a starter Pokemon where you level up, and eventually you become this beast. But Hikaru started as an attacking firebrand. He became much more positional over the years because he saw Magnus doing the same, and he will try to emulate Magnus. And of course, it's tough to do that. Esipenko, meanwhile, maybe a bit more tricky, I would say. Very well prepared and very principled as a player. But we saw Esipenko in the Esports World Cup. Clock isn't his friend. He's a bit slow in general, and he doesn't like losing too much control.
Yeah. I think nowadays, to be a top chess player, you have to keep evolving, right? I mean, in the older days, I should say, people were more classified as like positional, tactical, which I don't think they ever were really. I mean, there's a famous story of Tao. Everyone thought that this crazy attacking ex-world champion was only a tactical mastermind, and then once he played someone who said, well, Tao can't play endings, so on purpose he swapped off all the pieces, went to ending and beat this guy, just to show him that, yes, I can play endings, prove his point. This type of structure, David, it reminds me of the World Championships between Magnus and Fabiano Caruana. Caruana had this kind of pawn structure of white, and Magnus often went into this with black. But it is very dynamic and probably good for both sides if they want to win Title Tuesday this week. They both really need to go for it here.
Yeah, but Esipenko retreating, there's a bit of a roadblock for white. The move you want to play is so well guarded. You want to push your pawn forward, but black controls any advances. Black, in the meantime, can choose when to pull the trigger and go for his own pawn pushes. So I think Hikaru in blitz chess, kind of practical terms, just easier a position for him to play. And maybe that is reflected in the clock times. Esipenko down around the 2-minute mark. Hikaru, yeah, he's almost as fast as Andrew Tang, I would say. Super speedy when he wants to be. He's also got the Connect 4, my favorite pawn chain. And meanwhile, your favorite thing landing on the board here, Simon, the H-pawn push.
Yeah, he's pushing that pawn up. Maybe even white is trying to take over something on the king side. There you go. The rook swings over. And Esipenko is saying, okay, you're not going to have all the fun on that side of the board. I'm going to try to come in and cause a little bit of problems there. Very important, I think one of the things you mentioned there, David, is in blitz chess, who has the easier position to play? And there you go. Black is just pushing his pawns. And even if it's not a better position, if your moves are easier, more natural to play, it makes a big difference. Is that white knight going somewhere, though?
Yeah, that white knight has a nice path. Good spot, Simon. Like, that's a juicy kind of final destination, supported by a pawn, a nice outpost, probably landing with a fork. So Hikaru has a 2-move window to attack before the white knight gets in. And look at that, the white rook lands in the corner. It started the game in the other corner. And Hikaru is now going to blow open the position before the white knight lands. And the white king is the target.
Yeah, it looks to be very weak on the dark squares here. And Hikaru trying to break through. And I saw Hikaru shake his head a little bit there. But I don't know if that was in pure joy. And all the evaluation bar, it has changed.
Massively better.
Yeah, what is the move? It's crashed in black's favor. The first move is the most obvious one, I believe. You should probably take this pawn, lure the white king out. Then the black knight might start landing with some checks. That knight can be taken, but that would only come with the white, the F-file opening. And there we go. It's a series of checks from Hikaru. Maybe not the best according to the eval bar, but good enough. And now you just need to add the black queen somehow.
And look at it. This is typical Hikaru when he starts looking at the ceiling, trying to calculate the way through to the win. He's watched that queen's gambit many a time, and he's jumped into the position. But the dark squares, they're very weak around white's king, and black, Hikaru has the dark square bishop. This is very scary for Esipenko.
And meanwhile, Andrejkin and Minle have played a draw. Andrejkin now on 8 points, meaning if Hikaru wins this game, he will only be half a point behind on 7.5.
Ooh, the gap is closing,
yep.
And Magnus Carlsen looks like he's maybe slightly better against Alexei Serrano, but still in the fight there. Hikaru, he is such a clutch player. He knows when to change gears. He knows how to kind of steady the ship after the setbacks. And right now, if the black pieces can land any check against the white king, it's almost checkmate. Just need to break through on the dark squares.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, white can hardly move anything as well. You might even let the F pawn join in the attack here. Hikaru, the only slight danger, he's got 45 seconds. He's got to not forget about the clock and try to calculate his way to victory. Even someone as strong as Hikaru can get too short a time. So he's trying to find the win. Is there something clear here? There should be, right?
There should be. I mean, the move I would want to play is to bring the black queen in and try to go in and behind. But if it doesn't land a checkmate, you could find yourself up a blind alley. And in the meantime, there was a pawn attack. The white queen was hitting b6. But Hikaru, he's panicking. Look at him on the camera. I'm sure he's telling his chat that he froze, that he should have been quicker. 27 seconds is not a lot at all.
Yeah. He's down on the clock. Esipenko still with 49 seconds left. Is there a chance that Hikaru loses this on the clock?
It's very possible. If you don't land a checkmate, if the queens come off the board, it's an endgame, you get flagged. So Hikaru needs to go for the white king. I think he's still a favorite here, Simon, but not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's a very crafty move Hikaru played there, because now his queen is, well, maybe threatening to come into the position. The bishop is getting a good place. Esipenko just grabs the pawn, but 21 seconds.
Oh, and look at the bar.
Yeah, it's changed. What's the mood, though? It looks very scary.
Yeah.
Is it just a draw?
Yeah, you can't dodge a check here, and the white queen can now drop back and force a queen exchange, and it looks like a perpetual check. Esipenko's playing for the win, though. He could have repeated the position.
He's going for it. And look at those pawns. Why not? And look at the time. It's all going to come down to the clock again. This is what this guillotine time limit comes down to. It's 10 seconds versus 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Esipenko has an extra pawn. It's all about the white pawns that are pushing forward. He has a winning position now, Esipenko. 2 extra pawns, but it's all about the clock. Hikaru is going into flag mode. The black knight is dropping. The white pawns are so close to promotion. Totally winning for Esipenko. Can he close it out? Hikaru is about to crash to defeat.
I mean, has he lost on time? He has. Esipenko. What a result.
Wow, that was a massive turnaround. Esipenko takes the win against Hikaru Nakamura. Another loss for Hikaru, losing on the board. But I think he actually officially lost on the clock. He got flagged here, Hikaru. Hard break. And look at Esipenko. He isn't smiling on the outside, but he is smiling on the inside. That's a massive win for him.
Huge win. Esipenko, he was kind of almost shaking his head there. Maybe in disbelief that he just flagged Hikaru Nakamura. But ultimately, it was well-deserved. He held his nerve. Yes, his position was shaky. Yes, Hikaru was probably winning for the vast majority of the second half of that game. But it's all about the scramble. Who can hold their nerve better? Who's quicker on the mouse? And Esipenko still had 6 seconds when Hikaru ran out of time.
Huge win for Esipenko and trouble for Hikaru Nakamura. And that is not the only big result here. Magnus Carlsen has also lost in round 9 to Sarana, who is a big favorite also in Title Tuesday. But heartbreak for Magnus Carlsen here as we are heading straight into the next round, you guys. Alireza Firouzja did win, and we now have 4 players on 8 points. Andreikin, Firouzja, Sarana, Esipenko. There is no Magnus there. There is no Hikaru there. They are on Magnus now on 7 points. Hikaru still on 6.5. And we do have some big matchups coming up here now in round 10. Let's follow these two who still has a big chance to win game week 1. Alireza Firouzja with the white pieces against Sarana, who just came from a win against Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, great result for Sarana. I should mention, Sarana was in trouble for most of the game. Magnus was doing very well, but it turned around, and Magnus couldn't handle the sudden clock pressure he found himself under, and Sarana the Piranha, we call him. He's a bit of a hunter. He's a bit of a dangerous opponent, and okay, talking of dangerous, there's a trap. Queen takes knight there would have been a huge blunder, as the white bishop would have moved out the way with the check, the queen dropping. This is going to potentially decide the tournament this game, Simon.
Yeah, massive game. I mean, there's 4 players now on 8 points at the top of the table. So if any of these 4 players win, they're just one little step, 2 games to go away from winning this new Premier League titled Tuesday. So the position here, pretty critical already, because the white bishop is lining up against black's queen. So there's many tactical ideas here that, well, both sides have to watch out for. And he just defends his knight in the middle of the board. This is the kind of position I feel Alireza enjoys playing, David. He loves these kind of double-edged Sicilian positions with, the black king still a long way away from castling.
Yeah, this is Farouja's comfort zone. It's his wheelhouse. Sarana's a very provocative player. I'm going to say I've played him both over the board and online many times, and he likes to take risks. He likes to push you into positions where you might feel a bit uncomfortable. Hard to find those types of kind of discomfort positions, especially against Alireza, especially in the open Sicilian. And look at that, the White King castles into the firing line. That is bold chess from Alireza, but he does not fear any danger, and the Black King still in the center is going to be a bit of an issue himself for Sarana here.
I mean, one of the reasons I think Alireza's gained so many fans in the chess world is the way he plays chess. He reminds a lot of players of Kasparov. Kasparov was a very dynamic player, took chances, tried to attack whenever he got the opportunity, and Alireza has that style. I mean, I know we're mentioning you have to be a universal player, but you can certainly go a certain way. You can certainly have a certain style, and Alireza throwing his king over there, and look at this move. He's offering that knight in the middle of the board, but if that knight's taken, the queen can come up, and Black's king is still stuck. It has to get safe.
That is a beautiful move. That's like a dagger, that move. If the knight is taken, as Simon says, the White Queen comes up, and there's a devastating pin along this diagonal towards the corner. The Black Knight's going to drop off, or the Rook in the corner would be doomed. And not just that, but this whole weakening of the center has allowed the White Knight to jump forward, potentially with the gain time. This just looks devastating, this attack suddenly.
It looks really bad for Black. Black seems to be a number of tempos down. Black's played too many pawn moves, I think. The Black Knight at the side of the board, okay, can take off the bishop, but mainly it's just the king. This is the problem sometimes. And look, there you see a bit of emotion on Caruana's face there. He looks a little bit upset, as you would be. His king, how does he get his king safe? If the knight moves, White's knight comes in.
Yeah, it's Fabiano's cousin, Alexei Caruana here.
I like it.
Yeah, it's looking tough for him though. And yeah, it looks like the Dragadorf, Simon, an opening you've played. It's like a hybrid of the Dragon Sicilian, the Najdorf Sicilian, but it's one that's gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragadorf, I mean, Magnus has played it sometimes. It is a mix between these openings where you play these pawn moves, but it's very provocative, and nowadays maybe not considered to be the best opening. Is that knight going to come into the middle now?
Oof, looks juicy, right? That square is so tasty, hitting the Black Queen. Any check is actually going to be checkmate. The Black King is cut along this diagonal, no escape squares. It hasn't moved yet.
I guess he's just trying to calculate the way here. That is the obvious move, but does he want to save that move for later? Because there is a problem. If you move the knight in, White's pieces are attacked, so he's got to find a way to deal with some of the issues to his own pieces here. Yeah. I would have moved that knight in and then worried about it, knowing me, you know. But he always got back. Okay, so he's taken a more solid approach, cautious.
Still good for Farouja. He just didn't want to drop any pieces or risk too much. The White Knight will still occupy a beautiful outpost a bit later. But first he gives up a pawn, and he's doing that in order to get his rook on the open file. Oh, this still looks terrifying for Black, who still hasn't castled his king. But high risk, high reward chess. Who will it pay off for?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just don't like the king being in the middle of the board. This is the problem, that all of White's pieces are working quite well. He's got that open file. I mean, I like the way that Caruana's cousin did grab that pawn there. It would be funny.
He's not really his cousin, just like
this is over the story. You know, they practice together.
Yeah, okay.
You know, they eat together at every tournament. You know, they look very similar. So no, they are definitely not cousins. But it's a horrible position, this, for Caruana. Can he try to bring the knight back? That's the only thing I can think about doing here.
Yeah, you need to bring pieces back into the defense. It's either the knight, or you try and get your bishop out and try to get castled belatedly here as Black. It's not easy. He does get ready to castle, but anytime you do get your king to safety, the white bishop will take a pawn on the edge of the board, and still a lot of danger in the future. It's not just that, but the style of the position really favors Alireza, who loves having momentum by his side.
All right, remember, you guys, this is round 11 of a total of 11 rounds in Title Tuesday. After this one, there is only one round to go, and we will name a winner of the first Title Tuesday Game Week 1 in the autumn split. It's looking good for Alireza Farouja. He is so far on 8 points, together with Sarana, coming from a win against Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen is now playing against Jumabayev, and it actually says better on the bar for Jumabayev. Hikaru Nakamura has been in trouble. He's now playing against David Navarra, someone we definitely love to follow. Hikaru is massively better on the bar, just like Alireza Firouzja now, massively better on the bar.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Serrano was ready to get his king to safety, but he took a timeout, and now he's allowed the white knight to jump in, followed by potentially the white rook coming into the position, maybe even the white knight coming up to the top of the board to cause some discomfort. Looks very, very good. I still don't see the follow-up for Firouzja. He needs that. He's still down on time, still down a pawn. But Simon, it looks very promising, I was going to say, but the bar disagrees with this move.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be that Saruwana's fought so well here. I mean, the position looked absolutely disgusting, and he's back in the game now. I still think White's pieces dominate, but it is a pawn. He saved that pawn, and he's got chances, and he's got the extra 30 seconds. So the next minute, very critical, but this is the best position Saruwana has had for a very long time here.
Yeah, Firouzja has been a bit slow on the clock. I'm going to say 30 seconds down. Doesn't bode well for him. We saw him doing some flagging earlier in the day, but you need so much to go your way. In a position where you're a pawn down, you have no clear plan, no clear breakthrough. And look at that, already slightly better for black. It might be creeping in that direction, as Simon said. Momentum has turned here fully.
And Alireza ticking under 1 minute. You said it, Simon. That's when you start to get really stressed. There is no increment in the new Title Tuesday format. This is all the time Alireza has left.
Yeah, you need to change gears when you go under 1 minute, because that's like what we call bullet chess. It's that stage of the game where how many moves can you actually make in a minute? You can't make that many, and your quality of play must go down quite drastically. So black, I think, is going to be favourite here, just because of that time advantage and the way he's turned this game around. But we know how good Alireza is. He's trying to bash through in the centre. Who would you pick, David, here?
I'd pick the one with extra time on the clock.
Yeah.
And you know me, Simon, I'm a bit of a pawn grabber, so I think the fact that black's a pawn up can maybe bail out into some endgames very safely. I would also be very scared of just planting a pawn on this square, and there's going to be all sorts of checkmating patterns around the white king long term. I think Serrano here is a big, big favourite.
Why is he thinking so much, David?
Yeah, you need to trust your instincts.
Just move. You've got to move. Don't at this point. I mean, I preach it, but I can't do it. But still, you've just got to move now. Maybe swing the rook in here, something like that. Trying to activate your pieces. Trying to get the queen down. The white king now actually looking quite weak. There's many chances to check it, but it's going to come to the clock surely here. And Alireza hasn't picked up the pace. He's still moving too slowly.
It's been clear today, so many players still adjusting to this new time format. They're not used to it, despite the Esports World Cup, where it's 10 minutes to the death, as just no increment. It still feels like in Title Tuesday here, this switch up has caused some players to suffer. I think that might have been what kind of knocked back Magnus and Hikaru, but okay, Alireza still down to 26 seconds. He's got some chances on the long diagonal if he can set up a queen and bishop battery, drop his queen back at some point, land a checkmate in the corner, but not easy to do that without some damages along the way.
22 seconds for Alireza Firouzja, and Sarana is ticking down to the same time on his clock. Oof. We're heading into time trouble, you guys.
Serious time trouble. I mean, it's just going to be on the clock again, unless something incredibly drastic happens here. They've gone under 20 seconds, 10 seconds it looks like, or around there. Keep an eye on the clock. It's jumping up and down, but I can tell you, Alireza 13 to Saruwana's about 15, I think. Keep an eye on the clock. What's going to happen? You just got to move. Don't think, move.
Oh, they're kind of repeating the position here. They're just going back and forward. Neither side wants to kind of take a risk and go for it. But finally, Firouzja dodges any repetition there, dodges a draw, shows his ambition. He's still got a few seconds left. Oh, it's level material now, but the black knight isn't as good as the white bishop. And the white pawn sprinting forward cost the black knight its life. It looks like Firouzja's almost getting it done on the board. Should still be a draw, best play. And he drops his bishop. He's losing now suddenly on the board. No time. It's all about who's quickest here. Who's going to flag first? Let's watch out for the camera reaction from one of the two sides. The black king coming in. The black pawn's coming in. Serrano wins on time.
Oh, he gets flagged. Alireza Firouzja loses on time to Sarana. Wow, that's dramatic, and that must be so heartbreaking for Alireza Firouzja. But what a win for Sarana. Are you impressed with him here, David?
Yeah, I'm always impressed by him. He's been European champion, both individually and in rapid chess and as part of a team for Serbia. He's so smooth, never looks flustered ever, and we saw it in that time scramble.
Huge win. That's drama. That's time trouble. That's the Premier League of chess, you guys. Alireza Firouzja loses on time. Let's go to the live center to get an overview before we head into round 11, which is starting now. We have Sarana and Esipenko, the only two players on 9 points heading into the final round. Minle training half a point behind. He's on 8.5. And we do have a bunch of players, among them Magnus Carlsen and Alireza Firouzja on 8 points. It's gonna be Sarana against Esipenko in the final round. If one of these players win this, that will be the winner of game week 1 in the autumn split. What are we seeing? Wow, this is so dramatic, heading straight into the final round, David.
Yeah, and these two know each other very well. They actually grew up on the same circuit. Sarana's just a couple of years older than Esipenko. We've seen the Marshal, and this is a branch of the Spanish opening where black gives up a pawn. Esipenko's played a line that Magnus brought back into popularity a couple of years ago. The black bishop is very nicely placed. If I can draw arrows correctly, it's nicely placed on this diagonal, and compensation for the sacrifice pawn. But Sarana, he might have it in the back of his mind. He had better tie breaks, I believe. On the two players who had joined here, he was the one listed first. A draw might be a good result for him, but that does take a bit of risk. You're relying on your previous opponents to kind of support you there.
It's a hard thing to get into your mind. Do you play for a win here, or do you think, is there a draw okay? You know, like a draw in the back of the brain, I think you've got to forget about that. I think you've got to try and just play for a win. But the time situation, again, he's gone down a minute, Sarawana. An amazing victory, though, in that last game. How did he come back from that horrendous position? It was absolutely disgusting, and he managed to win it. He managed to turn it around. So he's flying at the moment. He has the extra pawn here again, but also he's down in development. Esipenko has all these pieces flying on the board here. Probably a theoretical position, this.
Yeah, still well known. I actually played Magnus in Magnus's last game as reigning classical world champion. I played him in the Norwegian League. It was this exact opening, and here Magnus pushed his b pawn forward. So he played the move pawn to b4 just to kind of break up the white center. That ended up being a draw. I was very timid there with white. I just tried to hoover off all the pieces. I was successful to hold it, but yeah, this one, Sarana, clearly uncomfortable. He's down over a minute at this early stage, and like you say, Simon, it's opening theory, so he really should be knowing his stuff or trusting his instincts here.
This is the final round in game week 1, round 11. The winner of this game will be the winner of Title Tuesday, game week 1. Meanwhile, Magnus Carlsen is playing against Minle, and Minle, if he wins that game and these two play a draw, there's still some chances for Minle. And we also have in this round Eric Hansen playing from the Dave Cave here in Take offices against Hikaru Nakamura. That would have been a fun game to follow.
Eric against Hikaru. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. That would have been a fun one to follow. But it's
round
all...
one. It's not round 1. It's round 11, isn't it?
It's round 11, yeah. But we have to follow the action. Who will win the first Title Tuesday in this new format? Will it be Alexei Sarana or will it be Andrei Esipenko? They still have time on the clock, but at some point this will get dramatic. If we've learned anything today, it's that it gets dramatic with the time control of 5+0.
Yeah, and this game is heating up. Next move, black is going to take this knight off the board, going to wreck the white pawn structure, and probably then start trading off some pieces. It's going to be opposite color bishops. White is a pawn up. But Simon, black is guaranteed some compensation due to the kingside weaknesses here, already trying to get in with his queen.
Yeah, totally agreed. I mean, opposite colored bishops, you kind of generally think, oh, it gets more drawish, but not when there's queen and rooks on the board. And the white king has that air around it, you know, the double pawns. But also, I kind of like white in other ways. He has nice central control, his bishop pointing on a nice diagonal. And I think white can most likely take over the open file. So it's just equal any result possible. Any winner of this new premiership could happen here. And it's all down to this one game. Now, if it's a draw, can people catch them? I was just trying to work that out.
Yeah, so if this is a draw and they both end up on 9.5 points, then there will be chances for Minle, who is heading into this round with 8.5 points. If he wins against Magnus and ends up on 9.5 points, together with these two, then it's down to the tiebreaks, who had the toughest opposition, whose opponents has scored the best.
Yeah. But it's worth noting that only those 3 players can win it. Magnus Carlsen out of the running. He's 1 point behind both of these 2, and one of them is guaranteed to step up and beyond him. So right now, it looks like we're heading towards a very level endgame. White has given away the pawn he was up, but he was trying to get in with his rook. That's just been stopped by Black's rook. And there we go, White defends. Yes, maybe Black looks symbolically better just because of White's doubled f-pawns, but Simon, it looks like we might be heading towards the dreaded draw and the lottery there of tiebreaks.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, now the queens are off the board. The opposite coloured bishops, they play a more prominent part of the result. And, well, if the rooks come off, they can probably just shake hands. And this will be a draw any second now. So it's going to be, like you say, David, a lottery. Who has the better tiebreak? It could come down to the players, how their opponents get on in this round.
I'm going to keep an eye on. There it is. It's a draw in round 11 between Sarana and Yesipenko. Let's take a look at the live standings. This means Sarana is on top. If Minle does not win against Magnus Carlsen, then Sarana will be the winner of game week 1 in the autumn split. All right, we will keep an eye on that, but I really want to jump into Erik Hansen against Hikaru Nakamura. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Erik Hansen is playing here from the Dave Cave. He's up against Hikaru Nakamura, who struggled a little bit today. What are we seeing on the board?
It's chaos. I'm struggling to count the pieces here, struggling to count the pawns. Simon, it looks like Hikaru has a rook and 2 pawns for Erik's 2 bishops. So actually, small advantage for Hikaru materially, but the bishops look super strong.
Yeah, and also, if we look at the points as well, Erik's on 7.5, right? So he is half a point ahead of Hikaru. So a draw will mean he goes above him. I kind of like having the minor piece in this position. It gives you more chances to attack. So even though Hikaru has this material advantage, the Black King has no protection. Erik can attack very well. And as you see there, the dart squares, they're weakened. The bishop can jump in. The queen is on a nice diagonal. So I would take White here. I like Erik's position, but again, the time, David. We know he's quick, but he's a minute down, a whole minute down.
Yeah, Erik's been living life on the edge, at least on the clock. And look at that. Hikaru makes a mistake. Suddenly White a lot better. And here, he just needs to get the bishops in. If somehow Erik can activate his light squared bishop, impossible right now. But if he can ever get it to this diagonal, it's just checkmate. It's going to be game over. So Erik knows what he needs to do, but 40 seconds on the clock, he needs to speed up.
He needs to play quick. Something like queen c3 looks very natural, setting up a threat. And he's played it. The threat is rook takes knight, bishop pinning the queen to the king. So I think Hikaru has to maybe get his king out of the way here, but then a knight might be able to come in. This is very, very dangerous, Hikaru. He's come back. He's trying to defend from the 2nd and 3rd rank. But 30 seconds, David. He's got to move. He's got to move quicker. Come on, Erik. You've got to move.
Yeah, he's already been flagged once in this tournament. We mentioned Erik Hansen. Round 1, he had an extra queen, rook, bishop, and pawn. But he lost on time, meaning the game was drawn. And it looks like lightning might strike again. Hikaru's blocking everything now. This is turning. Hikaru's also better with these pawns advancing. Erik has lost the thread of the game. It's all about the clock. And it looks like here, the Dave Cave is not going to save him. Luck not on his side. Hikaru doing Hikaru things.
Yeah, you saw there, Erik was shaking his head somewhat. I mean, the position is still very intense, but this move, a real problem. Now, the knight comes in, and he's got 10. He can't do this in 10 seconds, David. He'd have to be an absolute miracle worker. And he's now lost more material as well. Still a bit messy.
Yeah, White has 3 pieces for the rooks, but he knows it's all about the clock.
Yeah.
I think even if this was 1 minute against 1 minute, it would be very difficult for Erik Hansen, but no time. Hikaru, this is how he wins his games. Yeah. So quick and so intuitive.
Well, Erik is much better on the board, but is he losing on the clock?
Yeah, Hikaru gives up his queen in the last move to cause Erik to burn his last few seconds. Game over.
Wow. Hikaru finishes Title Tuesday Game Week 1 with a win against Erik Hansen. Erik Hansen had some good results today, though. He's been impressive from the Dave Cave, but shaking his head, he finishes with a loss against Hikaru Nakamura. Meanwhile, we need to pay attention to Minle against Magnus Carlsen. If Minle wins this game, he has a chance to win Title Tuesday Game Week 1, but it's massively better for Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, Magnus, the king of endgame, Simon, he's creating a second pass pawn now, a sacrifice. It's not just any old pawns. Those black pawns are going to be real menaces once they land, and there's going to be checkmate ideas against the white king on the back rank. Looks like Magnus just putting the finishing touches here. He's got enough time as well. Min layers the one down on time, and checkmate threatened now.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got it there, and he has won. So we know who the winner is.
It's Serana, you guys. The winner of game week 1 is Alexei Serana. Magnus Carlsen finishes with a win, takes him to 9 points and a good score here in game week 1. But the winner is Alexei Serana. No one else can catch him. How impressed are you with Serana, David?
Very impressed. I'm going to hold my breath, though. I have seen turnarounds last minute and tie breaks when, for example, all of your previous opponents suddenly lose last minute and your tie break gets hit, or your opponents or your rivals,
I didn't think about
past opponents suddenly rise to the top. It does look like Serana, until things change on the right side of our screens there, it looks like he's crowned champion. I'm impressed by both of them, though, Serana and Esipenko, both with some fantastic wins today.
100%. It looks like Serana will be the winner of game week 1 with 9.5 points. No win for Magnus Carlsen in this game week 1. He's been looking so much forward to the new title Tuesday. He ends up on 9 points. For Hikaru Nakamura, he finishes with a great win against Eric Hansen. And Hikaru ends up on 8 points. 8 points for Hikaru. So that means he's going to be outside top 10. Remember, only the top 10 players score points towards the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. And it is the top 6 guys by the end of the season on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboards that qualifies for the Esports World Cup. But there's also All About Glory every single Tuesday, and today it looks like that is Alexei Serana. It looks like we are finished with game week 1. We are finished with 11 rounds, and Alexei Serana is the winner. Let's hope we get an interview with him. Let's hope we get his initial reaction from winning this. What was the key for him? Oh, and I think we're going to get that chat with Alexei Serana very shortly. In the meantime, I'll ask Simon, what was the key for Serana? Oh, here we have him. Alexei, congratulations on winning Title Tuesday Game Week 1.
I don't hear.
Oh, you can hear us. Can you hear me now? Testing, testing.
Sorry, I don't hear anything.
Can you hear us from Oslo?
We'll have to do sign language.
Yes.
Celebrate this big, big victory.
Yep. Can you hear us now, Alexei? Okay, but now I can't hear you. Or maybe I can. I'm going to try. Congratulations on winning game week 1 of Title Tuesday. What was this like? Okay, so the sound is a little bit bugging, but I'll try. What was this like, playing with 5+0, a completely new format, the Premier League of Chess?
There are a lot of games which like 150 moves, and it's much comfortable 5+0. And I believe you should control your time to not get flag, and it's normal. So flag, then usually it because time management was bad. That's why I basically prefer time without increment.
Okay, we love to hear that. Now, you had a great win against Magnus, a great win against Alireza Furusha. What was the key for you today to winning this?
Oh, well, I was fighting quite well. I had not a very good position in these games, particularly against Magnus. I tried to play solid, but lately I got a very good results against him. Maybe because I played solid and annoy a bit with trying to play for draw, but here I got a terrible position, but I struggled quite well and managed to outplay eventually.
Well, fantastic. It was so impressive to watch you throughout the 11 rounds today. Is Title Tuesday going to be a big focus? Oh, I hear someone's at the door.
Oh, no, I can... yeah, someone knocks the door and I couldn't hear you again for a few seconds.
Well, my final question is, will Title Tuesday be a big focus for you this season, trying to qualify for the Esports World Cup? How important is that?
Yeah, I would really try. Let me one second, 1 second.
Okay, someone's at the door. Well, I love this. We're just intruding the player's private space with Title Tuesday. I can see him running
I'm
back.
so sorry,
That's
my
okay.
mom wanted to come to my room, and yeah. So I'm really
okay.
happy, but I'm not sure about focus. I really wanted to focus the winter season, but maybe I will focus now. But unfortunately, I have so many tournaments like Grand Swiss and European Championship, Club Cup, and so many. So in the winter, usually professional players doesn't have any tournaments and play this Title Tuesday more, and I wanted to focus on it, but I don't know. Maybe after this win, I will try.
Well, we hope you will. Congratulations on winning game week 1 and scoring 10 points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And meanwhile, we have also been joined by Magnus Carlsen here in the Take studio. How are you, Magnus?
My brain is fried, to be honest.
I can imagine.
But apart from that, I'm okay.
9 points in game week 1 of the new Title Tuesday, the Premier League of Chess. How does that taste?
No, it's okay. Obviously, I'm not happy with the score or the play. I mean, the play was a lot worse than the score. But yeah, that's how it is. I mean, I had a shot against Sarana. I was better, and then I lost control, and he took his chances perfectly. So it was very deserved. But yeah, I was not at the level I needed to be at all today.
We have to ask you to give your verdict on the new format, especially with the no increment time control of 5 minutes. What was it like?
There was zero air in the room, so it was pretty horrible to play. But apart from that, it was fine. I enjoyed the fact that there was no increment, since it means that you don't have to wait that long until the next game. It becomes more predictable. So that is good. It was also fun to watch the flagging skirmishes in other games. And as for myself, I don't think it made a ton of difference in kind of approach or score.
Yeah. My next question was going to be, how did you feel about your new 2882 streaming room? The air was not good, so I guess we then have to work on that.
The problem is, there's an office party going on out here.
Yes.
And if the door is open, then the air is okay. But if it's then I can hear people, and there's this constant noise in the background. So yeah, we need to work on that.
We need to work on that. We see here, Magnus, this is the brand new Take office. There is a launch party going on today with a bunch of people. Of course, we have to celebrate both Title Tuesday and everything happening with Take. How do you feel about all of that? Being a part of that, being such a big part of this company?
No, that part feels great, and I think we're definitely making a very good change here for Title Tuesday and for the EWC and for professional chess as a broader thing. So it's just the start, and we'll take it from here.
Yeah, you do score points on the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard with your 5th place today. So how do you plan to qualify for the Esports World Cup? Is it through Title Tuesday, or is it through all these other possible paths?
I qualified by winning the last event.
So you're already there. Okay.
Sadly. I was looking forward to qualifying, but I was, sad to learn that I already did. But that doesn't really change my approach to the weekly events.
I'm very glad to hear. Magnus, go grab some fresh air. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, Magnus Carlsen ends up in 5th place in game week 1 of the autumn split. This was the first show of Title Tuesday, the Premier League of Chess. Magnus, he did seem a little tired maybe while playing 2 hours in bad air quality is not easy.
Yeah, I've been there myself. I played countless Title Tuesdays, and it's always a bit of a marathon. Like you say, Kai, it's just 2 hours, but you pack so much into it. Normally to play 11 games, it's over 11 days. You have some time to prepare, some time to analyze, some time to kind of relax and chill, recover. But Title Tuesday is bang, 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 non-stop action, and I think we all feel like that. Magnus is kind of summed it up perfectly. That's how we all feel after a tournament. Serrano was kind of riding high on the adrenaline, but yeah, I think Magnus, it's nice to see him motivated, nice to see him kind of really enjoying this, and yeah, he'll be back itching to get those titles.
Yeah. And can we get up the final standings? What was the final results here in game week 1 of Title Tuesday? Here we have it. Alexei Sorana and Esipenko both on 9.5 points, but with better tie breaks, Sorana takes the win. And we of course have to mention the CCT points, the Champions Chess Tour points. Sorana now gets 10 points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. Esipenko gets 7. Andreikin gets 5 points, and Lazovic, he gets 4 points. Magnus Carlsen, he gets, there we have it, 3 points. 6th through 7 gets 2 points, and 8th to 10th gets 1 point. There will be a bunch of Title Tuesdays to score those Champions Chess Tour points. Your top 8 results from each splits counts towards the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. All right, well, how would you sum up this very first Title Tuesday with the brand new format?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been really, really exciting. So I had to calm myself down and get a beer prepared.
Oh, I like it.
So, you know, while Magnus was doing his interview, but it's been great fun to watch. I mean, it's so quick, it's so fast, and you don't get time to get a breath, do you? I mean, it's brilliant, and it's going to be every Tuesday. So every single Tuesday here.
Yep.
You're going to be here doing it?
Yep.
With David?
Yep.
Great. I'll be tuning in, maybe playing occasionally. Don't look at too many of my games.
Oh, we will, and we will
don't
tune into your games.
Embarrassing, but
No.
but it'll be fun. I mean, what an event it is. It's been great.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
How about you? What's been the highlight for you, David?
Yeah, I mean, probably Serrano's play. Probably actually Serrano running back, having let someone in when the doorbell went. I think that was the highlight for me, seeing him excitedly run back for the interview. But no, I mean, this is just the beginning, right? This is just week 1. So much ahead. We're going to be adding new elements, both on the show and in the tournament week on week. And yeah, I can't wait for the rest.
I agree. And I also can't wait to talk to Eric Hansen. Hey, sit down, Eric. Welcome to our Take studio.
Nice studio.
Oh, thank you. And how did you enjoy the Dave Cave?
It got better.
Okay.
I was flagging a lot.
Yeah.
And new format, I think it's going to be fun. It just takes an adjustment period.
Yeah.
David probably can relate losing to Hikaru from a winning position in the final round. I'm still thinking about that, but I saw other people suffering too, so that always cheers me up.
There was a lot of suffering today, but there also was a lot of celebration. You also had some really good results. What are you most happy about today, Eric?
Well, just that I caught up in the tournament. Like you can either like tilt, because I was flagging all these games, but I recovered a bit. I just wanted to play some good players at the end, and we got to that stage. So I'm more happy psychologically that after I was like 3 out of 5 or something, it's hard to keep playing because you pretty much need to win all your games to win this tournament. It's such a strong event. But I managed to like delay, like win some games, get back in there. I think my round 10 game I was happy about.
Yep.
Played another strong player and had a win, wasn't slow. It was just a clean game. And most of my games today weren't very clean. So, yeah.
Well, you can also blame jet lag, of course. We should mention you flew in from Canada last night.
Magnus, and we were late for a game because we were talking about golf and, and the drink I had. So, yeah. I ended up losing that game on time, drawing it. So, yeah. A bit of blame for Magnus.
But it's been great to see you play here from Oslo, Eric. Now, before this completely new Title Tuesday, the Premier League of Chess started today, there's been a lot of talk about the new format, especially the time control. No increment, 5+0. What's your honest verdict on 5+0?
Oh, I like it. And I think I was commentating on the Esports World Cup. I know David was there too. Those games were fun.
Yeah.
Without increment, I think takes always a bit of getting used to for the chess audiences. You know, chess audiences, they're very particular, but I think it's going to pick up, and it's just a different format, but it's exciting for the viewers. I'm sure it's going to be embraced very soon. We're not used to change. We don't like change all the time, but 5-0 is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I loved it. We had so much fun commentating, right, David?
Yeah, I can't wait for more. But Eric, how motivated are you now for the rest of the splits? Are we going to see you playing week in, week out, streaming a bit?
I have my phases. It was my first time using Proctor. It seemed okay, so I think I'll play a bit more. My main issue is it's early. It's 11 a.m. for me, and I'm a night owl. If it wasn't, I'd be playing a lot more. But 11 a.m., it kind of depends on the day, because it's now only one Title Tuesday.
Just have to hang out with us in Europe all the time.
If I'm in Europe, 5 p.m. is fantastic. Otherwise, I have to fix my sleep schedule because it's such a strong event. You can't just jump out of bed 10 minutes before, which is what I normally do. It's too strong. Like everyone can beat you now. The tournament's gotten so tough. So I need to fix my sleep schedule, but I am motivated to try out the format quite a bit more.
Okay, I'm glad to hear. What is the biggest focus for you going forwards now, Eric? Playing, streaming?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the events that the fans do like to watch. You get to play top players. It's a tournament, so it has a storyline. So I've been playing a bit more Title Tuesday recently. Otherwise, I don't have anything on the books for like over the board, but fun online tournaments I'm always interested in. Especially when there's like a structure, there's a format, there's goals, not just every week, but qualification system. I think that's nice. So that's a bit more motivating, especially now that there's a chance that you can qualify through Title Tuesday to the Esports World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if I fail there, which is likely, then at least I can try to commentate. But I think always want to try playing first, see how you do against the best.
With chess now definitely becoming a part of the esports world and entering the esports stage, do you like the path that chess is now on?
Yeah, I've always liked pushing the online. I think that's always the most accessible, also more sustainable. In person's nice, but it takes a lot of resources. So you want in person, but the easiest common denominator is people playing online. Everyone has access. So. Always a big fan. I mean, last time I played chess in Norway was the Champions Chess Tour, and I have very fond memories of that. That was a very good time, cool format. So I'm glad that you guys are back involved with the speed chess from the studio here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you, Eric. There's not only the streaming. Title Tuesday is over for today. Now there's a launch party. We don't hate that.
No, I had to show up for Asios, who's DJing.
Asios is DJing today.
I haven't seen him live yet, and he always sends me an invite. And this was a good opportunity to do both.
We're so excited to have you here, Eric. Thank you for joining the studio and for playing, and enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to bring back Simon with his beer in his hand.
One of my main worries was like embarrassing myself. Like Magnus was playing, he's like 4-4. I'm like almost losing to like low-rated players, and I was like, I didn't fly all the way here to just like score 50%. So that was like on my mind a lot. It's like it would feel bad to come here and just like have a terrible Title Tuesday. It's like, what, you flew to Norway to lose to FMs? I mean, it's a depressing thought.
I said hi to you just before we went live, and I could sense that you were actually really nervous.
Yeah, I was definitely a bit nervous. It's a nice studio here. You got all the infrastructure, the cameras, got Simon and David commentating. It's like I'm just like flagging and playing like a retired player.
Well,
it's not a good look.
It was a good look. You gave us a lot of good entertainment. You did great, Eric. Thank you for being here and for joining the studio.
I'll catch you guys after. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. We are getting ready to join the party as well. Simon coming back into our Take studio. So we're going to round up this first show, but it's the first of many. Every single week we're going to be here. There are 13 game weeks in Split 1, and then we have Split 2, and then we have Split number 3, the winter split and the spring split also coming up. There's a lot of Tuesdays to commentate, David.
Yeah, 39 weeks of action over the next year. That's a lot of chess. Times that by 11 rounds. We're going to see all sorts of time scrambles, all sorts of drama, and yeah, it was really nice to kick things off. I'm very excited about the future.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have Simon back as well, both in the studio, but hopefully also streaming. Is that something you're up for with the time format of Viable Zero?
Maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give it a go. But as Eric says, it is quite intimidating if you come all the way over here and then you play like an absolute fool, which is possible because everyone's very good nowadays. You know, all the young players we saw, you know, there was 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. They're scary. So you want to do a good performance, but yeah, I'll give it a go at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's been so much fun. Now, I've promised that David is going to be here every single Tuesday, and you are, but you will miss one Tuesday. Chess is very important, but one thing is actually more important, and that is love. Going to a wedding next Tuesday, David.
Yeah, so I'll be away. Sorry, everyone, but we'll have a very, very impressive replacement for me, and I'll be back.
You will definitely be back. You guys, thank you so much for guiding us and taking us through all the flagging, all the time trouble, all the great moves, the blunders today of the first Title Tuesday, the Premier League of chess. We hope you guys at home have enjoyed it. This was the first of many broadcasts. If you watched us or if you watched the point of view streams from your favorite players, we hope this is becoming a habit. Please join us again Tuesday, 1 week from now. Every single Tuesday, the top players will be playing this fantastic format with 5+0, no increment chess. All right, we are signing up. We are joining the big launch party. We hope you guys have a great day as well, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you again in a week. Bye. Hey, you guys, it's starting. Title Tuesday, game week 1.
He plays one of the best moves, apparently, by breaking out in the center. White is still winning this position with the pawn on the e-file, about to become a queen or cost black his rook. But it's all about the pre-moves, and Firouzja wins.
Jumabayev, look at that. Massive reaction. He slams the board. He's massively better on the board, but he has lost on time.
And also it's danger.
Mate in 5.
Oh, look at this. He's allowed the rook to come across with a checkmate. He's trapped his own king in the corner. The black rook is hit as well, and Andrakin takes the point, takes the lead. 7 out of 7. Looks like Firouzja's almost getting it done on the board. Should still be a draw. Best play, and he drops his bishop. He's losing now suddenly on the board. Black king coming in. The black pawn's coming in. Serrano wins on time.
Oh, he gets flagged. Alireza Firouzja loses.
Here we go.